Okay. Two dudes. People are mad at me over my YouTube comments of my videos, like not even in the live chat. Um, some guy wrote like this dissertation in a comment to me, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm not gonna read all that." And he replied, "You can make a 3-hour video but not spend 30 seconds to read reply." No, dude, like you wrote like a dissertation. I'm not reading that. It's so stupid. I don't know why people write an entire book to comment to somebody to argue with them. It's just crazy. I'm not arguing with you in those comments. That's stupid. Now, I will argue with you if you're in the YouTube chat. Good morning, YouTubers. Good morning, this old helmet. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the show. Let me go check I don't know if I'm up on the Deconstruction Junction yet, but I'm going to look because Tahir's really good about it. So I might be. Look at me. I am. Good morning, Pablo. Good morning, Bert Russell. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you. I chose a topic that hopefully people will come up and talk to me about. Dang, your whole page is about God. Are you sure you're an atheist? Yeah, because I grew up indoctrinated, and so my whole life was about God. And now that I am no longer in the church, it's not like I could just turn it off, you know? And it's weird that you guys have like pushed Christianity so much into our society, but you don't want us to educate people about it. That's weird to me. That's really weird. I already told you, but you don't listen. That's another thing. Christians ask questions, but they don't listen for the answer because they don't want the answer. They just want to say stupid shit in my comments. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Good to see you. Chuck, good to see you. Oh, am I an ass or are you an ass? What does that mean? Or were you trying to tell me that that you're an ass? I don't know. What is that? Like you just showing donkeys for no reason over there, huh? Why is education so important? I know it's not for you. I know it's not for you. But I think education is important. I think the world's a better place when we don't have a bunch of ignorant assholes running around. Just saying. I've got a new flash goal over here on the Tiki Talkies. If you guys wouldn't mind helping me reach it, it's just 6 J's and just one per person. You don't have to send them all. Just 1 J each. They're 1 coin. Crystal, that was the Tonky Donkey. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Chuck. I was like, I don't know. Am I the ass? You know, I'm never sure, Chuck. I'm not sure if I am being like, if there's commentary about me with those emojis or not. Education is the nemesis of funding make-believe. That is true. That is true. Oh, Lennon, thank you. Most people really find my voice grating. So, at least I do. I don't know. I get so many comments about my voice. When I was in middle school, there was, you know how there's like bullies in your high school, but there's also badass protective people who will like kick bullies' asses just like because they don't like them. There was this girl, I forget her name now. We'll call her Tina, okay? And she was that kind of a badass. She could kick anybody's ass, but she didn't go around bullying people. But if she saw a bully bullying somebody, she'd kick their ass, okay? And so you wanted her to like you, right? Because if somebody was your bully, like Tina would kick their ass, right? So one day I went to ask Tina if she would sign my yearbook. And I was like, hey, would you sign my yearbook? And she goes, oh my God, I love your voice. Say something else. And I was like, what? And then she was just making me say stuff because um I don't know, like I guess there's a little raspiness to my voice. I don't know what it is. But other people tell me that I sound like Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr of all people. Other people tell me I sound like Melissa McCarthy. I don't know. I think they're just I don't think I sound like either one of them, but I don't know. Yes, please hit the like button for me. And if you haven't gone over to my YouTube and subscribed to help me get to my 1,000 subscribers, do it real quick. I promise my YouTube is going to, improve. I do have ways for people can help crowdfund to help me upgrade my computer equipment. Those links are in my link tree. You can check those out. Oh, Tariq, did you really? Oh, that's so cool. I was just listening to you saw it before I went live. Okay, is there any friendlies that want to come up this morning? Just go ahead and request that. Hey, Controversial, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Are you a Christian or a believer in the God of the Bible?
Yes.
Okay. And can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, 34.
All right. Well, today my claim is God is evil. What do you have to say about that?
How do you define evil?
I define evil as doing something harmful to somebody or something for no good reason.
Okay. And how do you know that harm is evil? Like, what would you use to justify to say that that's evil outside of opinion?
I think that we all just use our opinions. And I think that Christians like to pretend that they have moral objectivity. But the reality is that they never can prove it. What they tell me is that they have it, but there's 45,000 different denominations of Christianity and growing, which means their own religion can't even decide what their morals should be.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the religion decides what the morality is because at least how the Bible teaches us, the moral compass that we have would be ingrained in our nature, which is why you and I can both agree.
Right, and you all disagree.
Well,
so
we don't.
That's
Well,
not
when we're
true.
talking about morality, I'm talking about things of right and wrong. So when you say that you, in
Right.
your
And you all
opinion,
don't agree on that.
well,
So that means that you guys don't have it written on your hearts to
well,
just say that.
it would be impossible because not all atheists agree that it's right and wrong, evil to harm somebody, as we just seen the new
Right.
files
We believe
that
that
just dropped.
it's
So,
subjective.
yeah, people have the authority and responsibility over their own bodily autonomy to make their own decisions. That's
So
true.
morality is subjective.
That's where it's wrong. It's not subjective because you and I both know that harming people is wrong, even if we do not share the same opinion with someone who thinks it's right. We
Right,
can't
but
say that
what
it's
we
wrong.
think harm is, what we think harm is subjective.
Right. It would be subjective. So if somebody goes to an
Right. So
extreme point,
morality is subjective. It's just a
but
stupid
this is,
point.
but this is
Morality
this.
on this earth, whether we want it to be or not, is
Mhm.
subjective. That's what it is. We
Can I
can't
show you
make
that
it
it's
what it
not?
is not.
Can I show you that
You
it's not though?
can't. It doesn't,
All right.
you can't. You
So
won't
if
be able to prove
somebody,
it's not. If you
I
could, you
can.
would probably get the Nobel Peace Prize because
Oh,
nobody's been able to prove it
no.
for, millennium.
Well, we can use logic to deduce that it is objective, and this is how we can. And this was my point. You say it's wrong to harm people, right? That's your opinion. But you say that morality is
Mm,
subjective.
nope,
So
that's not what I said.
it is objective that harming
Because
people is
I
wrong.
think that if I have surgery, people can say, oh, well, that harms you. But actually, it was for a reason. So
Hmm.
it is, when you do something evil, you harm somebody or something without any good purpose. There's no value
But
in it.
you just said that some situations harming is good. So then where do we draw the
That's exactly
distinction?
right. Oh, that's why it's
Yeah,
subjective. Oh my
how do
God, dude, it's subjective.
okay, I'm trying
You
my
just
claim is that
proved it.
it's
You
not.
just fucking proved it. You
I didn't
just
prove
proved
it.
it. It's subjective.
This is
Yes, you did.
well, if you would let me speak, I can show you how I didn't disprove it. So when we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about harming people, you and I both agree that's wrong. So it's not subjective. But I'm asking, if someone does disagree with you and they think that harming people is good, why should they
Mm-hmm.
be punished for harming someone if morality is merely just opinionated? And they say it's good.
Oh
How
my
can you,
God, dude.
is it still
Dude,
subjective?
and you haven't done anything to prove that morality is objective. All you've
So
done
why
is
can't you
tried to
answer the
poke holes.
question?
Excuse me, don't talk over me. There are people who are using closed captioning for the hearing impaired in the audience, and they need to be able to hear us. Okay, you are literally proving my point that it is subjective. With every question you ask, you're proving my point. You, in order to prove it's objective, you need to give me a premise. You need to give me a syllogism or something. You're giving me nothing. You're just asking me questions. Asking me questions doesn't prove your point.
Well, I said that we can use our rationale to come to the conclusion that it's subjective. You didn't answer the question. Why could you not answer the question?
Because it's subjective. That's the fucking answer to the question.
Can you repeat my question?
No, I can't. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this
I
stupid
don't think that you were
round.
actually
Dude,
listening.
okay, go ahead. Repeat your question, and I will
Okay,
say again that
sure.
all you're
Let's
doing is proving my point that it's
okay.
subjective.
So if there's a man out there that thinks it's okay to grape children, it should be okay for him to grape it because it's subjective, right?
No, that's not what
Wait, how can
subjective
you say
means.
no?
I'm telling you because that's not what subjective means.
Oh,
What
then
does
define
objective
subjective.
and excuse me, what does objective and subjective morality mean?
Well, you're
What
the
do
one that
those
just
two
said that
terms
it
mean?
doesn't, how I'm using it is wrong, so I
I
need you to
want to,
define it.
right. Okay,
I can.
objective means
Define
mind
subjective.
independent. Subjective means that a mind decides. Mind
Mm,
independent is objective. If you're
okay.
using your fucking mind to decide whether something is moral or just
Mm.
or a sin, then you are using subjectivity, sir. And the problem is that 45,000 different denominations of
What does that
Christianity
have to do
exist,
with morality, yo?
I'm explaining. You guys can't even decide within your own fucking religion what is moral or not. You argue about it and
We don't
divide
have to
into
decide.
different factions.
The
You
churches
have
don't
to. You
decide the
don't
moral
agree.
law. The churches do not decide the moral
Sure.
law.
Okay.
They
Then why
decide
don't you agree
yours.
if it's written on your
Do
heart and
not.
your God is
Oh my
about
God.
unification and your God is all knowing? Why doesn't he tell you all the
Do you
same
un
things,
do you
stupid?
understand that the law is intrinsic to our nature?
It's not intrinsic. You all have different things that you believe, you idiot.
Yes, who cares?
Are you this dense?
You dude. Let's try this again. Host. Hear me clearly.
Your morality is subject to what your God thinks, and what you
Oh my
think your
gosh,
God
bro.
thinks is based on text that is
Okay,
thousands
and
of years old.
if I think that my God thinks that it's okay to grape children, is it okay? Oh, it
That's a
sounds like a
question for
library in
you.
here
That's a
now, bro. What are
question
we
for
talking about?
you. Because you're the person
Why would that
defending
be a
that
question to me? I'm
position.
not defending, the claim is
Then
heard.
why use that as
I
your
do want to say something.
example?
I just want to point out something real
The
quick.
claim
It
is
is
yours, the
so
burden of
fucking.
proof is on
Can
you.
you shut up for a
You're the one who brought it
minute?
up.
Shut up, everybody, please. I want to say something. It is really fucking gross and disturbing to me that every single time a man comes up here and wants to prove objective morality, the very first thing they go through is violence against women and children. You're fucking gross, dude. You don't have morals. They always do. They always go right to, if I was to grape a child or if I was to grape a woman. Why do you guys do that? Why is that your go-to move?
It lets
Yeah,
you
it
know
is
that
insane, controversial Christian.
if they didn't
I'm
have
sorry, go ahead.
limitations, I was just gonna say, if they didn't have limitations into what they could
Branco
and
here,
couldn't
Branco
do,
here. So, host,
Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that, you fucking dick. Somebody was talking. Come up and mute yourself. God, what is wrong with these people? I'm sorry, Robin. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, you're good. And I really fast. I want to say that I am sorry for getting hot with that guy because
It's okay.
I was matching energy and he was pissing me the fuck off.
I know.
Um,
I know, but I just wanted to say that because I was like, immediately he kept going to, what if I graped? What if I graped? It's the first thing they go to. Like, they can't think of, like, what if I stole a Pepsi or something? They go right to violence against women and children.
right. It's not I took
Hang
candy
on
from a
one
candy
second.
store.
Lost. Quit spamming. You're now muted, you little dipshit. Grow the fuck up. Does Jesus really come to, or do people really come to Jesus because you guys spam hateful things in chats? Is that what Jesus said to do? Hey, go make disciples of everyone by being hateful in chat to them. That's what I want you to do. Okay, Robin, it's going to be a wild ride today, okay?
Oh, I'm ready
Bronco, I'm
for
not
it.
bringing you back up. Unless you apologize to Robin. I will bring you back up if you apologize to Robin for interrupting her.
But as you were saying though, Crystal, I actually think that
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting because knowing that that's the first thing they gravitate towards is a really great insight on the type of person you're talking to. Because they could have said
Exactly.
anything, but they went immediately to
Yep.
that.
Exactly. And I do want to make sure that he understands the answer to my question. I had already told you what I felt evil was. I felt that it was harm done to anybody or anything without a good reason that would help benefit them or something, okay? And so when you ask me, is it okay for you to grape, you fucking moron? Of course my answer is no, that would be evil. And when you say to me, but he thinks it's okay, then you don't understand subjective and objective morality, because me saying it's bad is also subjective. It is subjective. Now, can we all agree that harm is bad? Yes, we can all agree that, okay? We can, because we're subjects. It doesn't change the fact that it's subjective. It is our mind that decides it. I can't make morality be objective because it is not objective, because we all decide and we
beautiful,
don't all
beautiful.
agree.
Your host, so you said all the denominations of Christianity differ in morality. Give the argument for that.
I already did.
You didn't. You made a
Apparently you
claim. That
weren't
was your
listening.
claim. That was your claim.
And
Give the
first of all,
argument.
you interrupted again, and
They
so
have no
you need to get the
arguments.
fuck off my live, okay? If you can't come up here and not interrupt, you don't need to be up here, okay? I don't, when you come up mute, I will introduce you, I will ask your name, and then we can talk, okay? Hi, Shadow, how are you today? I gotta let my kitty out. Go on. I've probably been
Shadow.
up and down today, letting cats in and out.
I'm surprised my cat isn't over here screaming at me.
I need to feed mine. They're getting frustrated with me. They're like, "When's lunch?"
Just running your mouth for the sake of it. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. You know,
Bronco
you can
always
do it too.
does
Just
that. Oh,
go,
she
just
heard
go
me.
go start your own live.
I said something and immediately my
Hey,
cat jumped
Shadow.
up here.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
you
Lane,
did.
how are you
Oh,
today? All right, you guys, if you are a believer and you want to come up and talk and you want to be polite, you can come up. Bronco, I'm going to give you one last chance, okay? Yeah, absolutely, Shadow. Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, Bronco, I accepted your request, but you decided not to. Hey, Adrian, good to see you. Nan, Adrian, everybody in chat, welcome in, Equality, Ms. Michelle, Captain, Kiera, Thang, welcome in everybody. I appreciate you all being here. I chose violins today with this topic because I was trying to have really good conversations and they weren't happening. So I was like, all right, let's just do this thing. Hey, Glitter, Tahir, Nancy, good to see you guys. Kyle, how are you? Yeah, so if you are a believer, you want to come up and talk about God is evil. I just don't really want to go down your stupid objective morality argument because it's stupid, okay? Nobody has come up and said, let me show you, here's why I know objective morality exists, and then explains it. They just go, it's written on our hearts. Okay, prove it. Fucking pull your heart out right now and show me where it's written. It's just so
A heart
dumb.
tattoo? That sounds painful.
It's just so stupid. I'm so tired of that stupid argument.
Yeah, once you hear the same thing, I mean, it's also like, I feel like a lot of believers act like, at least I would, like, I'm happy that there's only subjective, that I think there's only subjective morals, as though, like, I wouldn't be okay with there being some transcendental truth, right? So it's like this weird, like I'm like happy with this state of affairs. Like I came to this conclusion because I decided that it's what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing. If morals were objective, we wouldn't have to ask questions about things like that are even that were never answered in the Bible. Okay, like for instance, should we drink bottled water? Is that morally okay to do? And the reason why I say something like that, because now that I deconstructed, things like that actually hit harder for me because I think, okay, I want to be a morally responsible person, and there's a lot of plastics already. There's so much waste that goes into bottling water by the fucking Nestle Corporation, right? And we have bottles, like I own bottles, and I have a great filtration system at home, and so am I doing greater harm to my community, to my planet, to my state in California where water is a precious resource by buying bottled water when I can just drink it myself? Now, that is a moral question. Whether it is a defining moral question or not, it is a moral question. And that you're not going to find that fucking answer in the Bible. It's subjective.
And it also means that you have to
I don't know
think.
why people. Yes. Adrian, I grew up drinking from a hose. I'm with you.
Yeah, make sure you don't drink it
agree.
immediately though, because the water's too hot. You got to let it run for a couple of seconds.
Yes, yeah, especially in California, you better wait. You don't touch that water right when it comes out of a hose in California on a hot summer
No.
day. It will burn you. Yeah, you can come on up.
Sounds like a free way to make tea to me. I'm just joking around. Don't do that.
If I get too friendly, I'm on YouTube trying to join, but no one is directing me. I'm a 30. Just here, let me send you an invite, and you can come on up. If I don't believe in God, my page is nonsensical, you guys.
Oh,
Howdy.
okay. Oh, okay. Pack it up, everyone.
Hey, Lemmy. I know. I'm gonna pack it up. I quit.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Thanks
Lemmy,
for telling
can I
us.
get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yes, I am 31.
Okay, and you're a Christian, you said. So my claim today is God is evil, and I really don't want to go down the philosophical argument on whether anybody can prove that morals are objective or subjective. If you cannot prove that in a syllogism, then we're moving on and we're going to go with it's subjective, okay? So what I'm saying is, according to his own words, he's evil. What do you say?
I definitely Well, so I was listening to the previous call on the objective and moral or objective and subjective standards. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
I actually was atheist most of my life until probably around 27. But I really
Oh,
didn't
so
like
what
God.
was your best argument against God? What was your best argument when you were an atheist?
I think my argument was I really did not, I thought that God was evil. That was my thought because I looked at it and
So then you
I
weren't an
asked myself,
atheist.
well, I said I don't believe in God because I believe he's evil. Like that can't, he can't be real because,
Okay. See,
and yeah.
yeah. But you said you were angry with God, and you said something earlier like you were angry with God. Then that's not atheism. So
Yeah,
you
I mean,
just
I think
weren't really
that,
close to. You were brought up as a Christian, though, right? You were brought up in a Christian home.
no, I wasn't. I think when I say atheist, I guess that in my mind, I always said like I don't believe in God, he's not real, right? But then I guess there was part of me that also like subconsciously, like I guess argued with the idea of God, thinking like he can't be real because he's
No.
evil. Why is evil allowed? This doesn't, like, a loving good God would not allow these things to happen. And that was my view on that.
I think that obviously that the idea of suffering is one of the biggest hurdles people have to get over if they believe that a God is all loving. But it is only one of the many reasons why I'm an atheist. Like, obviously, there are gods who are not all loving. So, and I don't believe in
Hmm.
them either.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess I feel like for me, the answer of suffering uh, actually gets answered from my Christian faith because I feel like without God, all suffering is just completely meaningless, right? In the Bible, it talks that we should, like, that the suffering is used for a greater purpose, that God allows evil to bring about good. And the evil is not caused by God, but by humans
That's
with our
worse.
free will.
Well,
Okay, but
is
one
God?
thing is
Oh, sorry,
that
Crystal.
God, that's okay, Lee. One thing is that God says he created evil. Two, evil existed before humans were on the earth because the tree is the knowledge of good and evil. It already existed. So we didn't bring evil into this world. God did. And he could have created a world without it and chose not to. And we know he could have because heaven is without it. So
Of
it's
course,
all just,
I do
it's his
agree.
pointless, stupid way of doing things. If he chose to bring evil into this world to make us suffer so that we could learn a lesson, for what is the lesson for? We're not even going to use it in the afterlife because we're not going to remember anything from earth. So what the fuck is it all for?
I would say that in that free will, when you have free will, you do have the possibility for evil. So, for example, if I were to force someone to love me or create a robot that has no free will or has no option to love me, then that's not really true love because I think if you limit that choice, I think free will is a loving thing that God gave us.
N- I
Lath
don't think you
wanted to
answered
say
what
something
Crystal
first and then
asked.
Shadow.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't think that really responded to what Crystal was saying. But I, I don't. I think it would be more loving to if he had to, which it's the weird thing to say had when you're talking about something that's hypothetically all powerful. There shouldn't
Hmm.
be a had involved. But I would rather us not have free will if it means we don't have unnecessary suffering. In the same way that I don't have magic, right? So I can't like bippity boppity boop someone into like a fiery pit. God could have just taken away the option for us to do, whatever the evil thing is, because we're already limited in some way.
I would believe in him more if he actually said bibbity bobbity boo. I mean, I think that would be just more
That
realistic.
would be
But Shadow,
cool.
what did you want to say? Shadow's at work, so it takes him a second sometimes to unmute. Go
For
ahead,
sure.
Shadow. I'm sorry. Shadow, we can't hear you. I see you in chat, but I can't hear you, and you're not lighting up or anything.
Yeah, your mute's
Do you
off,
want me to
but
drop you? Do you want me to drop you down and then bring you back up?
1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, that's okay. I think my my Bluetooth earbuds are like finally going out. That's fine.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. So the guest is teacupped. I don't know if they are listening, but I'll go ahead and just give my opinion. There were a few points made, mainly when you say that, okay, well, evil exists, but then it's for a greater good. You're making, in my mind, you're breaking the logical law of non-contradiction. I don't think evil can be good. That does not make logical sense to me,
It's true.
right? There's two things going on. In a literal sense, you can't say bad is good, right? That's going to break the law of non-contradiction or whatever, or excluded middle, I think it is.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's one point. But then in like a, spiritual or magical sense, you're saying, oh, but down the road, it'll be good because of heaven. And then so that's kind of like God enticing people to, say, oh, you do this bad thing and then you get a reward. Or if you go through this, right, for me, then you get a reward. And that seems enticing. That seems like God pulling up in a white van with candy, being like, hey, why don't you come do this bad thing and then I'll give you heaven later. That's what it sounds like to me. That's one point. And then another point about free will is, well, God has no problem like violating free will in the Bible, but also there's instances where he, I think, could help humanity without violating our free will. There are millions of children starving. If God put a bread basket with some fruit in it at schools, and people could choose to eat it or not, that's not violating free will. That's just God being nice. God could do that at any time and not violate our free will. Right? And that makes complete logical sense to me. Number one. Number two, assault happens all the time. I'm not sure why God couldn't create some sort of barrier when the moment is about to happen. Like, for instance, there's a man who assaults a woman. Why can't God create a barrier? For instance, I can't fly right now. God has created a barrier like gravity, so I can't fly. I can't just will myself to fly. God creates barriers that don't infringe on our free will, so why can't he create a barrier for assault? That would just prevent it. It wouldn't, if he could prevent it, you'd have to say, oh, but God has to have that assault happen. So I would need you to justify why God needs these things to happen. Go ahead.
Okay, so you made quite a few points there. I guess it's hard to remember them all. There was quite a bit of like points that you brought up. But for this last one, you're trying to say that why does God allow... Can you repeat like just the gist of that? So I want to make sure I can answer this directly. I want to steel man you there.
He was saying that if God can put up barriers and stop things or whatever, he could put it so people cannot assault each other. He could make that happen, and still you would have free will, because there's lots of things we can't do, but we still have free will.
Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point. And of course, I don't think that there's a direct answer to saying, like, if let's say for the sake of argument that God is all knowing, all good, and all powerful, like the Bible says he is, right? To say that we would know better than God in some situations is, I think, kind of a stretch on our end to say, right? So I would say that there's plenty of times that God has actually prevented great evils and atrocities and things through the Holy Spirit working on people and preventing things. So yes, I would say that God doesn't constrain all evil, right? He's not stopping all evil, right? But when I say that earlier, I mentioned that he uses evil for good. It's not that God is bringing about this evil. It's the evil that humans you like create with their free will, that he turns that bad situation into something good. So, for example, in the Old Testament, there was a gentleman who was sold into slavery by his brothers, and God ended up using that evil done from those brothers to Joseph to actually bring out great good. So Joseph became the king, assistant to the king, and was able to feed and save many people in a famine. So my point is that God's not creating evil, but he is allowing this evil, and this evil he's actually turning into good.
He created evil. He created evil. Isaiah 45:7. I create evil.
I think Robin wanted to say something also.
Okay. It's your turn, Robin.
Since they're teacupped.
Would you do me a favor, Crystal? If you have your computer in front of you, will you look up the Oxford Dictionary definition of what free will is? Because, to my understanding, free will cannot be confined to the limitations of fate or God.
Oxford definition for free will, please. The power of acting without the constraint of necessity or fate, the ability to act at one's own discretion. And so I invited Mac Lester up here, but he might be busy. But yeah, having either heaven or hell is fate. And there are constraints. So like I don't know why. And also the Bible never promised you free will. That's just something y'all made up a long time after. It's wild to me how many we have a runner.
Well, he may have had a call. Or they may have had a call.
Okay, he may have had a call. I'm going to take it as a runner just so I can say it. No, okay. Runaway Dave is up next, you guys. Runaway Dave, welcome to the show. Are you let me bring, stay with us, Runaway Dave, but I'm going to bring our other guest back up because he got dropped.
I just got disconnected. I'm sorry. I definitely hear what you say. Yeah, I would say that free will is more of having choices. I understand where you're getting, you're pulling these definitions. I think there's just a lot to discuss in all of this, but I think the best argument for all of this really does go back to that objective and subjective morality claim. And I'll be very brief. I know it's driving you nuts with that claim, but
because you haven't been able to prove it. Unless you give me a syllogism with the premises. I want a syllogism with the premises to prove to me objective morality even exists. Because it doesn't exist. Not in our world. We literally each decide.
So I would say, of course. So I would say that, we can use reason to decide or understand what is true, right? Or at least what is most likely true, right? And I guess we both have different worldviews. And I would say in your worldview, if you believe in subjective morality, right, where we decide if something's right or wrong, then there's certain things that you would just it's all a matter of opinion. That would be the subjective view, right? Like it's an opinion, like one person's opinion on if something's right or wrong versus another.
All we have. It's all that exists in the world. It's all that exists and has throughout
based
time.
On what you said there,
nowhere in the world is
perfect.
there
So based
any
on what you said there,
objective rules that apply everywhere, all the time.
No, I agree. Okay, well, let's get to this next point. So here on this point, right? So I agree. I just asked you a clarification question of if if you believe that subjective morality is opinion, you said yes. So with this idea in mind, if everything is just a matter of opinion, would you say that the Holocaust was objectively wrong? You would say no, right?
There's no objectively right or wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong.
So in your world,
I can say that because I can say that, but you can't actually because you don't know if Hitler was told by God to do what he did. You don't know what Hitler was told to do. You can only go by what you think too. You think it's wrong because you think that that's what God told him, but you don't know what God told him.
Yeah, but that's a different discussion.
I can say it's wrong because I don't give a fuck because there is no God.
Well, wait.
Yeah, remember
No,
you're
but
shifting
let's
the
continue.
burden.
No,
You're just
I'm
saying
speaking
like
real quick.
subjective morality exists, and we're agreeing with you. If you could just show us
I'm not saying. Listen,
objective
I'm not
morality.
saying. I'm getting
Okay,
to
if
the
you could just
point, but
show
you
us
just keep
objective
going on
morality. If you
filibuster.
could just
So
show
let
us
me.
really quick,
No,
really quick,
I've
really quick.
asked you to do a
Yeah, just
syllogism
show
so many
objective
times,
morality.
and if
Thank you.
you
Go ahead.
I'm
can't
trying.
do it, I'm gonna
No,
move
listen.
on.
Okay.
No,
I
do you know what a
promise. I
syllogism is,
promise I
sir?
have it.
No, do you know what a
I'm
syllogism
sorry.
is?
I am not. I do not know what a syllogism is. Now, please let me give
Okay,
this point.
so you're
So
not
the
going to be
point
able
is,
to
though,
do it,
in
so we either
objective,
move on. No.
listen,
Listen to me now. If you do,
it is
oh my God,
objectively wrong
listen.
that the
No,
Holocaust is evil.
listen. You're not going to talk over me. I'm the host, okay? You're not going to do that. There are people in chat using closed captioning for the hearing impaired, and they need to hear both of us. And when I talk, everybody shuts up. That's just the rule, okay? Now listen, I asked for a syllogism on objective morality. If you cannot do that, I'm moving on to the next person, okay? Thank you for coming up. Try another day, but I don't want to keep going over you trying to prove somehow that subjective morality exists while still saying objective morality. You just keep proving it. You just keep going, that's an opinion, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Runaway, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Hey, yeah, thanks so much for letting me up. My age is 31.
Okay, and are you a believer of the God of the Bible?
I would say so. I think it's a little nuanced, but I believe in God.
Is it Jesus?
Yeah, I would say so. I used to be atheist,
Okay.
but
When were you atheist? Were you
I was
born
atheist for about
atheist?
I was never born atheist, but I didn't have the best upbringing, and so I turned away from God for many years and then became Buddhist and then became agnostic and then became atheist, and then I've just had a very diverse spiritual walk, I guess you'd say.
What were some of your arguments for when you were an atheist for why it was obvious there was no God?
I think for me, and I can only speak for my personal lived experience, obviously, but
I'm sorry, I'll be right back. I have to let my dog out. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, no worries.
Wait, he's getting a drink of water. I'll let him out in a second. I'm sorry.
What kind of dog do you
Go
have?
ahead.
That's cute. I love dogs.
He's a little silky terrier.
Oh, that's cute. Sorry, did you want me to continue?
Yeah, well, so you were atheist and then a Buddhist and all these other ists, and now you are back to kind of leaning towards some form of Christianity. We call that Sadak Makbiftaj. That is, so you don't actually call yourself a Christian, but you follow the teachings of Jesus. So why?
Yeah, so I would say, I don't like organized religion, but I think the Bible can be like weaponized, obviously. But I think for me, right, the reason why I disagree with the prompt, God is evil, and this is just from my lived experiences. When I was atheist, I was on a bunch of substances and I was also homeless, and my life was very dark. And I was surrounded by a lot of people who could care less whether I lived or not, and they were not the best people for me. And I had this encounter with like a spiritual being, which happened to be in this church. And I hadn't stepped into a church in like 15 years prior to this. Long story short, I got clean and was able to have the courage to like get clean. And I believe it's through the power of God. Obviously there's people in my recovery circles who do it differently, but for me, it gave me life again. And I haven't been in jail.
Well,
I
I'm glad you're
haven't been.
clean. I'm really, that's really good. I'm really glad. I had quite the
Yeah.
opposite experience in my life. I was not, if I was an addict, it would have been to Jesus, I swear. I was so addicted to church and the Bible
Same girl.
and Christianity. Oh my God, it was my whole fucking personality. Anyway, and I found that those people didn't really care. They don't really care about people. I find that even today, as we sit so many of them are sitting there and they're cheering on ICE, ripping apart families and unaliving people. They're cheering Trump on as he dismantles democracy and takes away rights of every marginalized person he can. They cheer him on. They cheer on evil all the time. And to me, that's people who don't care. And I realized I actually did care. I really fucking care. And so I needed to get the fuck up out of there because those people do not care.
For sure. I
And
definitely
I'm
agree.
so much
There's a
better
lot
now.
of, yeah, and I do agree with you. I think there's a lot of toxic Christianity and, you know, a lot of people who have caused a lot of harm. If I don't keep my spiritual beliefs dependent on people, like for me, I guess it's more about like how do I stay sober? And if you've ever dealt with a substance, it's very difficult. Like in the first year alone, I think it's like 70 to 75% of people will relapse. And I've have like 6 years now, and I think
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have that without this belief system for me. And so it's really saved my life. But I also understand like I'm part of the queer community as well, and my brother is as well, and he's atheist. And I don't judge him. I don't look at him any different or less than. I still love him the same. I still want him to have a great life. We get our source of purpose from different places. And I don't like when people weaponize, religion against people. But I'm just saying for myself, like when I was on the street, right? It's like the person that saved me was a queer Christian and let me into their house, gave me stability, got me into therapy, gave me like hope. And so because of that, like it was really easy for me to get my life back together. And I've had a lot of people like that who aren't the
It
traditional
sounds like a
Christian.
human being really helped you. It sounds like a human being really helped you. And then you're going to give that credit to a God. And I'm glad you're helped and I'm glad you're doing better. I really am. But I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit and that human being who took you in, got you therapy and helped you.
Yeah, and I
saying
still
God
talk to
did
that
these
person
things,
all the
but that
time.
human did that.
Yeah, for sure. And that person did
That
provide a
human's pretty
safe.
amazing.
Yeah, no, I love that person. We're best friends. He actually just took me to the dentist this morning.
That's awesome.
Long story short, that even though that person is in my life, I believe it was like, God who brought them. And the only difference is I would say when I'm having cravings, right? Like cravings can get really strong for people in recovery. I have to believe something outside of myself can bring me back to sanity, right? And that works for me. Like prayer and putting on like worship music works for me to get sober. Like, and that's just for me personally. And I know that can be really hard for other people to understand, especially like my queer
It's
friends.
hard to understand because I was a Christian for 40 years. It's just that after 40 years of me recovering from things that I had issues with and me becoming a better person and I realized every single good thing that I worked my ass off for that I did, I just kept giving credit to this God, but I was fucking doing everything. And I don't know why we tell people not to look within themselves to get healthy, to get better. I don't know why we don't tell people you can do it and you're worth it and you should love yourself enough to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we tell people you have to look outside yourself. I'm not really understanding.
For sure. No, I totally get that perspective. I think for me, it's not black and white. For me, there's a little bit of gray of like, I do give myself credit for a lot of things. Like, I'm glad I show up for therapy. I'm glad I've gotten an education now. Things I've never dreamt of having before. Like, I didn't even think I'd be alive this long. And I'm so proud of everything I've accomplished. But at the same time, if I go back to my old thinking, it's so destructive for me because of all the trauma I have that if I rely just solely on my own understanding and logic, it's always like I try to get clean like 15, 20 times before this. I always failed and it never worked. And that's just, I'm not willing to take the risk personally because like I said, I haven't been in jail since I got sober. I'm a better member to society. You know, I'm not
That's
on the streets making people have to spend, you know, all this, like I was doing crazy things. Like, and so now it's like
now
the
I
risk isn't
know.
worth it. You know, I'm not going to
I
chance
know how
my
addicts are.
recovery.
I love a lot of addicts, and I know how destructive their addiction can be for all the people around them. Welcome to the panel, Mac. Welcome, Tommy.
Hey,
Yeah, but I
Christian.
respect your opinion. You know, I'm not trying to,
What up?
you know, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I think God has helped me, but I know for a lot of people it hasn't. And
I mean, do you see that as
yeah.
evidence for your God?
What was the question?
Do you see that as evidence for the God's existence?
I
Like,
personally do. I
like,
personally
well, do you
do,
think
but
other people, because evidence would be objective, right? Other people can look at the same thing and kind of reach the same conclusion. You know, with a few exceptions, right? But like, you know, apple falls from a tree. That's evidence of gravity. Anybody observing that could see that. So, would you expect other people to be compelled by this testimony?
I don't think it's my job to, like, everybody's going to live their life depending on what they like. I can't expect people to understand my queer lifestyle, and just like I can't understand people that don't believe in God, right? I think we all live in our lived experience, and it shapes our perspective.
You got baggage, man.
Yeah, we all do, right? Some people have
you
baggage that
you got
comes in a
church,
trash bag, and
church
some,
baggage. Just the word lifestyle really jumps out. Like
for sure.
that's definitely a product of indoctrination.
Definitely. And my drag queen friend always says this: everybody has baggage. It either comes in a trash bag or a Louis Vuitton bag. Just letting you know.
But do you hear what Mac's saying to you about what you said? It's not a lifestyle.
This is why I'm always skeptical.
Oh,
Of
wait,
people
sorry.
who are
I guess
atheists.
I missed what he said. What did he say?
I'm saying your sexual
Go ahead,
orientation
Mac.
is not a lifestyle. That is religious framing and terminology. I don't know why you, as a queer person, would accept it.
Well, even people who are non-religious don't like gay. Like, there's people out there that I've been hate crimed, right, by non-Christians, like people who are just machismo and people who are just very masculine men. Like, it doesn't have to be religious for me to be attacked, right?
Well, it's still rooted in it culturally.
Like, I've met a lot of people who
There's
were
no
actually,
secular argument against homosexuality.
for sure, but I've also met like people who just grew up very masculine and machismo, and they just don't like feminine men, or like
Right.
they don't like.
Uh, that's based in
That's where that
the
comes from.
patriarchy. That's based, yeah, it's based in the religions that, you know, perpetuate that fucking lie.
Well, and also, I jumped up to say something kind of similar, but uh, I'm worried that if this is like for my aunt coming out of the 80s crack epidemic, I've heard her say a lot of the same things, Runaway, that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? And I think it's dangerous for you and the people around you. So I would ask this way. If you come to the point and you realize that none of the people that also believe in this God and also claim to love this God and follow his laws, his commands, that they'll turn on you, that they'll betray you. If you find that out or get a hint of that, is it going to deconstruct or undo all the good work that you've done up to this point to get away from whatever you made it through? You know, is it going to undo all that just because Jesus or God or this shit wasn't really the thing helping you stay clean and live a healthy life? If it was you, but you gave all the attribution to God, and then you come and find out that the same people that represent him, they tell you he ain't even real. If you come to that conclusion on your own and you believe it, you see it with your own eyes, is that going to undo all the real work that you did to be where you are now?
I don't think so. I just know, right, when I was on the streets, on hard substances and I wanted to be gone, right? I wanted to unalive. I did not have the people that were surrounding me. And I'm not trying to say all people are like this. I've learned this now from other people who are atheists, who are good people. But the people I was associating with were so anti-God, they could care less if I was literally overdosing in the room next to them. And the thing about it was, I was in such darkness because these people were not lifting me out of the darkness. They were dragging me into it. And I've been fortunate enough now to meet a lot of queer people who are Christian or are just good people who I believe were brought into my life to give me, hope. And I think that's, the journey of life for all of us, right? Like sometimes people have that from their parents. I didn't. Sometimes people have that from teachers. I didn't. Some people get that later in life. And we all kind of, depend on one another. I just happened to meet people who were Christian who did walk the talk and didn't try to make me feel bad and gave me safe spaces to regrow and to relearn. And I've also done it myself, right? Like through therapy, through education. So I think, I have a good thing going. I don't think it's solely dependent on my relationship with God, but I think when I
That's
have
not. I think
cravings,
you're missing my question, Runaway. And I would agree. I think right now you do have something good, but it is not sustaining, and that's my question to you. If today one of those people, like the person that you were mentioning earlier, who you still call on, who helped you get out of it, and they come to you and they say, you know what, friend, I know I told you that God was real and that that was the reason why all this was happening, but now I've looked and reflected on things and I found out that was me helping you. That wasn't even God. Um, and then you chose to investigate it and you found the evidence comports with that reality and you say, damn, so God ain't even fucking real. Is that going to set you back?
I
Can you
don't
can
think so
can you
because it's not
survive without can
just,
you
yeah,
survive without him is what I'm saying. Now
for
that now
sure.
that you're
Yeah.
good, you know what I'm saying? Now that you're good and you're on the right side of health, couldn't you survive without him?
For sure, because it hasn't just been that one single incident. Like truly, I've had, and I don't want to say I'm blessed now, but I feel like it's been so many things that have happened that are so weird. Like, people have come out of the woodworks in the weirdest ways to show up. And it's not just been that solo person. It's been many things, like meeting the right therapist at
You
the
have a
right
good
time.
community. Sounds like you have a really good community.
Yeah, that's what I
That's what
said.
that
Yeah.
sounds like.
And
For
that's
some,
why I thank God for that, because I did not grow up in that. I grew up in super chaos.
Don't give away what you did and what other people did by saying thank you, God. Like it's like saying like, oh, I went to I'm not saying this is what you're saying, but like I went to rehab and I had to work really hard and I had a lot of therapy and I talked to people and they were there for me. Thank you, God. Like that's undercutting what you and what the people are doing.
For sure. And I appreciate, and I tell those people, all the people specifically, I'm like, I am so glad and so grateful that you are in my life, regardless of God. I am just glad that you exist on this earth. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Right, but that's why I'm asking you this, Runaway. When it starts to be overwhelmingly obvious that God is idle, maybe even vicarious or a voyeur, it's going to hurt. Are you going to then choose to say, well, God, you were there for me, now you're not, and be mad and crash out? Or are you going to comport the reality and say, I've been doing this. My friends stepped in, my community made themselves available because, especially if those people that say that they built that community for you and that safe space for you come back to you and say, bro, I'm telling you, this was not God. It just wasn't him.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that
I
going to break
totally
your
get
heart?
what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. I think for me, because I've seen so many instances of so many different things, it's hard for me to say, oh, I'm going to just all of a sudden say, F you, God, because, this thing happened. Like, right? I've been through a lot, and I've been through, homelessness, which is one of the hardest things I've been through. And I still could see God in different moments. So I get what you're saying. I think for me, I've had to like wrestle that battle. And I think for me, I choose to believe in something greater than myself. And I know that's not for everybody.
And
I
I'll digress. I'll
like my
digress right
brother,
here.
we had the same upbringing. My brother's an atheist. My sister's an atheist. They're all atheists because of the religious stuff. And that's cool. Like you do you. For
Well,
me,
you
it
can't say it's
works.
because of the religious stuff. Just real quick, you can't
Well,
say
because
that
we
they're
went to
atheists.
conversion therapy, right? I was forced to do the conversion
I'm so
therapy.
sorry that happened to you. That's awful.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Yeah, it was not fun. And that's why I did become atheist and did go away. But for me, that
Oh,
didn't work for
see,
me, you know?
it's never.
For me, it didn't work.
This is why I'm
Atheism didn't
always
work for me.
skeptical of people who say they are former atheists. You legit were mad at God. That trope that we hear all the fucking time. You're just mad at God. That was
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and that's what turned me
You
to
did.
atheism.
You were not an atheist.
That's not
You
atheism.
hated God.
Oh, then maybe I don't understand atheism. Sorry.
Atheism,
Truly,
you
I'm
don't believe in God. You can't be mad at something you don't believe in. I literally cannot get mad at the Easter Bunny. There's not
Well,
a
yeah,
fucking Easter
yeah. Okay, yeah. I would say this.
So if
I
I'm mad
was
at something, it still exists. I can still move away from it. I could choose not to be near it or to worship it, but I still believe it. So I'm not an atheist.
I guess what I was trying to say is I didn't care enough to care if God was real or not. So I was like, I don't even care if you're alive, because if you're alive, I don't give a crap. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just busy doing substances, trying to survive on the streets. So who cares if
why
there's a
would you
God?
go back to this God whose people invented conversion therapy that tortured you? Why would you go back to that God? Why would you pick the one in this Bible where he's evil, where he does not care about people, where he hates people? Why not say, okay, I do believe in a higher power. I believe something is helping me. I believe there's something out there that loves me. Why not call him Frank or something? Why are you choosing to call him the God of this religion?
Yeah, and that's a fair question. I think for me, right, when I look at my life and I went to what I would consider atheism, I was surrounded by other people who could care less if there was a God or not and were very destructive. The reason I went back is because it brought me back to life, and I could see God, like just personally, I could see God in a different way. I saw God, and this is what my relationship with God is now. God is love, and that's what I keep it at. I don't believe every passage of the Bible. I don't weaponize the Bible. I truly just say God is love, and that's it, right? And so for me, that
Then
keeps
he's
me.
definitely not the God of this Bible, then, because although he claims to be God, love, he shows you very clearly in the Bible that he is not love.
Yeah, and I could agree
So
with you there. There are instances
I
in the
just would
Bible where
change his
God was not love.
name.
Yeah, and for
Runaway.
me, it
And so
works, right?
Jesus is not either.
But runaway, it doesn't work. And what I'm telling you is,
What keeps me sober, I'm still
it's
off the streets.
right.
I'm
No, no,
not
no, no.
on
And I get that.
drugs.
I get that. I get that. I
No.
get that you're here. And I'm like Crystal. I am totally happy for that, because it affects more than just you. It affects the people around you. That means you're perpetuating good
Don't use caps.
safety, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, this is the whiplash that's going to happen. That I'm foreseeing. And I just want you to take this into note, and I'll digress off this hill. I'm the friend. My friend doesn't say this to me anymore, or when he does, he catches himself. He'd be like, "Thank God." Well, and I'll be like, "Yeah, because who bought this? Who bought this food? Thank you, thank me." And he catches himself now, because I've made it very clear. I will not allow you to give my credit away and still be my friend. And if you
Yeah.
desire real friendships, and if you really value that friend that helped you overcome, because I know this very intimately. My household was broken up by the drugs epidemic. So I really know it very intimately. And I will say to you, I'm glad you're here. But now I need you to,
Me too.
one, just consider that if your friends come to you and are like us, good people, are happy for you and want to support you, that you're going to have to give us credit and that we're going to hold you accountable for giving yourself credit when you deserve it.
Oh, for sure. And I love that. Like when my friends have blessed me, which I call it blessed, I say to them, I am so grateful for you and you alone. And then in private, that's where I'm like, thank you, God, for bringing this person in my life. Like, when I'm talking to when my brothers help me or, cause he's atheist, when my brothers help me, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're in my life. And thank you so much for showing up for me. And then in private, I'll be like, thank God this thing happened. So I'm not trying to use God to not give them credit. Like I love to give people credit, especially my therapist. Like that woman is an amazing woman on this earth and has helped me through. And if y'all are looking for a therapist, she's amazing. She does PTSD, EMDR, all that, but she's so good. And I don't even think she's religious, but I'm just glad she's in my life, right? And yeah, I'm just saying this is just my lived experience, and everybody has a different story. But yeah, no, I totally get what you guys are saying. I can see your point of view because all my siblings, choose that life, and it works for them. And I'm just saying, for me, it's been a little different. So thanks for letting me come up here and just share my experience.
Question before you left.
Oh yeah, of course.
Go ahead, Shadow.
Thank you. So, far be it from me to ever ask anyone to break their anonymity. And I'm just going to say my opinion, right? In 1939, Bill Wilson weaponized Christianity in his book. There are instances where he says in his own personal testimony in Bill's story, I didn't like his followers, but I liked his teachings, referring to Jesus. In the third step, it's turn our will over to God, and it's this sort of underlying spiritual sheen of Christianity that weaves through the program. It's sort of this unspoken understanding that, oh, we're talking about the Christian God here, right? We're not talking about the Muslim God. We're not talking about Zeus. It's understood. It's prevalent in America for a reason, AA, and it's a cult. It's very ironic that they will say phrases like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, but they encourage relapsers to keep coming back. So it's not
That's
much
true.
better than any other cult that I've ever seen. There's something called the 13th step. After the 12 steps, what's prevalent in the Alcoholics Anonymous cult is something called the 13th step.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm
that's
familiar with that.
you've
Hey, I
heard
gotta
of
jump.
Yes.
Talk to you later.
And what is it, right?
Okay, Mac, thanks for coming up.
It's where old timers, predominantly men who have been in the program for quite a
We'll prey on
while.
people.
They
Yeah, it's
they'll
very
say
disturbing.
to
It's not good.
newcomer women. Well, if you could let me finish, they'll say to newcomer women, "Hey, you want to grab a coffee and read the big book?" So it's enticing female newcomers usually. I'm sorry, I didn't mean female. Women newcomers. Because they're like these not patriarchs, but they're these pillars of the program that are like propped up because they have time, but it's unearned. They don't. Recovery is not doing anything. You can just fill a seat for 10 years and then, especially with like male privilege, you just sit on it and then you just get the rewards. So it's not something I would encourage. I will say it's a placebo effect. Like everyone's saying, I don't want to take away from your recovery and your path of getting better. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying, look at the big picture. And if you don't agree with what's going on in this AA community or something, and if you're not doing anything, you're condoning it. I would say, you can walk away. You don't have to go to meetings, but if they're helping you in the moment, right? But I'm saying like there's other paths. There's therapy. I'm a mental health advocate, so there's a lot of
We
things
actually
like
have a
psychology.
wonderful recovery expert in the community. Her name's Dr. Joe. I don't know if she's in here today, but if you're not following Dr. Joe, you should. She's a recovery expert. And yeah, she'll agree. There's no one true way to sobriety. There is many paths to sobriety, but AA was created by, William Griffith Wilson, and he was definitely putting his Christianity in there everywhere he could.
Bill Wilson
And
was 13
there's a
stepping
high,
women.
yeah, and there's a high recidivism rate within Alcoholics Anonymous, where there's other. Other ways to sobriety outside of it. And NA, by the way, is funded by Scientology. So that's another good one. Okay. But, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming up and sharing your story with us. I appreciate the very nice, healthy dialogue instead of the yelling at me and circling around objective morality for 2 years. So I do want to thank you for that. Anybody have anything else they want to say before Runaway leaves?
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me come up here too. I appreciate you guys opening a space to just have the open dialogue, and it's been very interesting for me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you, Runaway.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend and happy Friday.
You too.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. By the way, it is Friday. Tonight we're supposed to be doing a singles mingle over in the Deconstruction Junction Discord. So if you're single, come over and mingle with us over in Discord tonight for a few hours. We don't have a lot of people signed up for it, so I don't know how this is going to go. It was our first time of ever doing something like this. What do we know?
That's so cool. That's because I guess I never thought about it. Like, it must be so hard to find like-minded sounds weird, but I can't think of a better way to put it. Like like-minded
Yeah,
people
it's hard to.
where you don't go like,
Yeah.
oh, actually on like the fifth date or something. You're like, oh, actually you're JW? Okay, well, or something like that.
Right. Yeah. And people were like wanting to do like a singles board and stuff. And we kind of didn't want to do that because then that thing, stuff can get weird and dicey and
Yeah.
everything real quick. So we came up with a really fun event. We're going to play games in one of the voice channels. There'll be a stage. People can come up and play games, and the audience can participate because we're going to have polls that they will do in the chat. And, so they'll get to play too. And then if you do like somebody, we're going to have one or two mods that you can message and say, hey, I kind of like this person. If they also want to get to know you, then we'll let you both know. So it's not anybody being shamed or embarrassed or, being put on the spot, or anything like that.
That's really
It'll
well
all
thought
be,
out.
Thank you. We tried so hard to make it fun and also make it so we want it all inclusive so that it's like all genders and relationship preferences and stuff. Like, so if you're poly, that's okay as long as it is why can't I think of words today? Ethical polyamory, right? If you're wherever you're at, we wanted you to be able to participate and feel like you were welcome. Yeah, what Tahir said, ethical non-monogamy. Yeah, that stuff.
That sounds very that sounds like consciously uncoupling, but like not obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining people in like trying to pass a note, and the people are like, well, we'll collect all the notes and then we'll see if we pass them on.
Right.
Okay.
Right, exactly. We haven't even decided which mods are going to be the note passers yet. I don't even have all the games set up yet. When I get done with this live today, I have to go do stuff for that because that's our big event. And also, yesterday we talked about doing a sleepover in my Discord. I have a poll up in my Discord. If you guys can head over there today and do the poll, I want to pick a day where we do a sleepover. We're going to hate watch Twilight because I hate vampire and romance fucking movies and books and shit. So everybody's making me watch it. It's just not my jam. But we're gonna hate watch it.
When
I remember.
you say that, does that include like what is that
Wait,
called?
you broke
Like
that.
Dracula?
I say it again. Count Dracula from the Count. I mean, from Sesame Street's okay. I like him.
Get out of here. I want you to get out of here. One, two, three. Release them. Yeah, no, that's crazy.
That's great. I remember when
Dracula
Twilight
is
first.
so hot.
A little bit. I can see that. I can see that actually. Sorry, my cat is up here talking again. I was gonna say, I remember when Twilight movies first came out, and one of my friends, we were doing some group project, and one of my friends put it on, and my ADHD immediately was like, oh, I'm gonna watch a movie. Fuck this, work. And I'm watching it, and whenever I think he like steps out on a cliff or something into the sunlight, and he turns around and he's all sparkly. Like it was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, like in the library or something, and I was like, "What the fuck was that? Is he glittering?" I got so mad.
Tiger's getting mad at you because you're doing spoilers. I haven't watched it.
How is glittering a spoiler?
Right? Because I'm not supposed to know that he walks out to the sunlight and then you see it. You can't say anything. Anything about the movie would be a spoiler because I've never seen it. I only know that it's vampires in love and a werewolf and a rivalry. That's what I know.
Hasn't it been like 20 years since it's been out? Maybe not 20.
Tyre's just she's gatekeeping down.
Okay, I'll mute up. I apologize. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
She wants to see my reactions, I think is what it is. Like she wants to see
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tiger.
The first two books were very poorly written. Like I don't know of a vampire romance novel that wasn't poorly written. In my mind, they're all poorly written. Even Count Dracula, yes.
I think the weird thing about vampires, at least for me, is so you know how like we look at like as an older person with like a much younger person, we're like, it can be fine, but it kind of gives us the ick. But for some reason we forget that when but it's like the vampire is like 500 years old, and I'm like, ooh.
Yes. I've never watched Castlevania. I just don't like vampires and I don't like romance novels. I do like rom-coms, but like it just also depends on my mood. Like I'm not heavy into rom-coms. I'm not like what's that Bridget Diary girl,
That one was
Bridget Jones' Diary.
What about the Ugly Truth? With
I've never seen that.
George, what's his name? Bernard or some shit. Okay, go watch that one. That one's hot. And then what about The Proposal with
Yes.
What's her name? Julia Roberts. What's her name? Not Julia Roberts.
I watched The Proposal. I can pick. I can picture her stupid face right now. Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Eddie's World. Thank you guys for putting that in chat. It was going to drive me crazy.
Can I ask one kind of on the same topic but has nothing to do with belief? I haven't watched it yet, so no spoilers. But has anyone? I know I just said that on purpose. Has anyone watched Heated Rivalry? I hear that it's pretty good.
I've seen
I have heard
like snippets of it.
Rocky fights
and it is. Get into
What'd you say, Shadow?
I'm sorry, you both talked at the same time.
He was trying to spoil something.
Don't spoil it.
I have a question about that. Those guys are like college age, right?
Yes,
like I would feel
hockey.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know anything about it, and I was thinking to myself, if these are like high school age guys, this is really
No,
problematic.
no,
So I'm
no.
glad
This
that
is
that was clarified.
no. It's either college or like early NHL career or something like that. I don't know which one, but I mean they are younger, and so my old ass looks at them and I go, ooh, I don't know if I can really get into this, but it's supposed to be so cute.
I think it's a great combination of telling a story that um, the community is well aware of, but not in a cheesy, corny, already told way. I would love to see the same level of content produced for some people of color that are in that are in the
Absolutely.
community. That would be great. But yeah, I think it's well written.
That's great. I'm so
Um,
excited to watch it.
heated rivalry in their rookie season. They're 18 and 19-year-olds, and then they're mid 20s, and then they're around 26, 27 towards the end of the books. So I know it's a show now, but so that tells you like they're supposed to be like late teens, early 20s. Did anybody ever watch Friday Night Lights? That was high school, and they were all fucking, and they were fucking adults. They were
Yeah,
literally having relationships with
everyone
adults in
was
that show.
having intercourse with everyone else.
Everybody. One Tree Hill too. I didn't know that, but One Tree Hill. But that was what the Friday Night Lights was about for sure. Gossip Girl too. Okay. That is because Hollywood likes to sexualize teens.
Yep. There's
That is
something about
why.
like it's also something about like that age range that is like it's weird, but it's also something that like adults have obviously been 18 before, so it's something that it's like, oh yeah, we all remember being 18, 19, 20. But even like looking at it, it's like I think it's like looking at them and seeing how young they are that makes me go, I'm feeling weird. But like if you read about it, you can kind of like
Yeah.
forget their age unless it's brought up.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
sometimes not stomach Big Mouth because of the same thing. Like, I know it's supposed to help older people reflect on their childhood and the things that we might have felt not able to talk about or really work through, but yeah, it's really graphic and jokes go too far sometimes, and I'll be like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this episode.
Yeah, I agree to here. South Park and Family Guy are both like that for me. Like there are some things that are just funny as fuck, and I will always remember them for South Park and Family Guy. But there are the other things where I'm like, okay, that's where I personally have a line. Okay, I guess
Yeah.
I have a different line.
You're like, oh, well, I found my line. Good to know. Good to know.
Yep, yep, and that's
My
where
cat
that
just.
draws you guys. Well,
Sorry, I was about to be weird and talk about
go
my
ahead,
cat,
Nate.
Crystal.
That's okay. You guys, thank you for the 29,000 likes. If you keep tapping the screen, I will be live about another hour, 20 minutes, unless we hit the gift goal. Once we hit the gift goal, I stay an extra hour. I decided to choose violins instead of pianos today. So we went with God is Evil. We did have a few good conversations, a few heated ones this morning. Well, not heated, but like they just wouldn't shut up. Like it's just so ridiculous. Like how many times are you going to tell me that you have objective morality while explaining to me that you have subjective morality? That was a little crazy. And I got kind of bored of that conversation. They can't point to objective morality other than to say, well, it's written on our hearts. We all know that this is bad, but you guys don't even agree on what all is bad. And then you sit here and say that you argue about that and say, well, that's not true. Yes, it is true. I can actually have two Christians up here and you won't agree on the same things.
Yeah.
And then you say it's objective.
How can it be written on our hearts, even as Christians, if the Christians can't agree? Even in the same church, like everyone in the same church.
In the same family.
Yeah. How is that
And the
objective?
same everything.
I don't think there's
Yes.
I feel like
anything
That's
that everyone on Earth would agree to. A fact, a moral, an idea, anything.
Yeah, there's like 40,000 different denominations, but hey, objective truth? Okay.
It's a nice
yeah,
idea to be
right.
able to point to something and go, no, that's a rule. Like, I mean, there's
Bye,
something
Tommy.
easy, maybe not easy, but you don't have to like struggle as much because you can just go, that's the rule. That's the rule. But just stating it because it makes you feel more comfortable, and then also not understanding, like misusing the word objective and subjective, which I totally understand. But then when you're like told, like, no, that's not what we mean, to then continue to use it incorrectly, that's what gets like, oh,
and that's what
Well,
I was
It
gonna
gets
say. It's
exhausting.
because
sorry, go ahead.
subjective is contingent upon a mind. So even if it is the mind of your God and you claim that this is the supreme God, it's still contingent on a mind. That makes it subjective, definitionally.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
I
And
think
then
a lot of
their God doesn't tell you everything anyway. If we go to their Bible, their God does not address every moral fucking situation that would come up. And so how can it be
mhm.
objective when there are moral issues that are going to happen in the future that we don't even know exist yet? Like how I brought up the bottled water. That was not always a moral issue, right? It became a moral issue at one point. And now it's a moral issue, right? And so, I don't know. They're just so stupid that they can't even see that. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, how do you not see this? That it, do we all wish objective morality was a thing? I don't know. I do. It would be so much easier if there was just, you know, a book somewhere that told me everything that is morally right or wrong. But it doesn't
Yep, just
exist.
point to the rules. And I think it's also made extra difficult because, as we all have seen, a lot of Christians haven't read their book. And so a lot of it is absorbed through Sunday school, through what pastors say, through daily devotionals. And so when something is presented as this is a fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what's true. And then you're confronted on it and said, like, well, this actually doesn't follow. It's not objective just because you've been told that. That's a really uncomfortable feeling to have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can't separate their identity from their God because they feel like their God is an essential aspect of who they are. They can't even give the credit for the good things that they do to themselves. They have to give it to the God. So when you challenge and critique their ideas, they take it as a personal affront, a personal attack.
Yeah.
And it has
Yeah.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with them. It has to do with critiquing their ideas.
Hey, Chulu, welcome to the show. Can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Okay, hello. I'm from South Africa and I'm 20 years old.
Okay, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
I do believe in God, but not the God of the Bible.
Which God do you believe in?
Um, I don't believe in a personal God. I don't know how to explain this, but I just don't believe in a personal God that like meddles with things that happen in our day-to-day lives.
What does your God do?
He created the universe, that's it.
How do you know he created the universe?
And I don't know if he created the universe. It's just something I believe in. I mean, that's part of believing, right? You don't have facts, you just believe.
What did he make it out of?
I cannot tell you. I don't know.
So why do you believe something made it if you don't have anywhere that this thing came from? You don't know what he made it from. You don't know when he made it. You don't know why he made it. how would something make something out of nothing to begin with? How would that even happen?
The thing is, why would there be something if there was nothing that made something? If you understand what I'm saying.
Because I believe that matter, space, and time have always existed. It's just changed. It's not. It wasn't made. It just existed, and over time, it changes.
Okay. No, I understand your point, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Chulu?
I do. Out of curiosity, do you get anything out of believing this? Does this do anything for you? Because I mean, I don't see any applicable benefit to it.
Sorry, can you repeat that question again, please?
Yeah, sure. So I don't think it's necessarily harmful to think that there's a supreme creator deity, especially since you sound like a deist. I'm not sure if you know what deism is, but I don't see what benefit it serves to you to believe this. If you don't have any evidence or reason, like, do you have like some sort of logical conclusion that you derive this from? Like, where are you getting the idea that there's a supreme creator,
I
and
don't
what
necessarily
benefit does
have
it
a
give you?
logical conclusion.
But is
Like
there
as I said,
is there
I don't
a real
know.
world
The thing is, I
benefit
was
that you
scrolling
get
past
from
it
it?
and I saw
I think there's a little
no,
lag.
I
So Chulu, go ahead and answer, and then Robin. But real quick, hey, if you're over on YouTube, I don't have a way for you to call in on the show over there. You just got to come over to TikTok. I am Crystaljae is who you're looking for. IAMCRYSTALJAE. Also, make sure you go follow me over on YouTube. But thanks for all the chatting over there on YouTube. You'll have to just join over on TikTok to join the conversation. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chulu.
okay. So there is no benefit in me believing that there is a God or there is no God that created the universe. But from my logic, I think for something to exist, there must be a creator. Like it's just the way that I think. Like for something to exist, there must be a creator. There must be the reason behind why it exists.
But why?
Personally, I think that what you're alluding to is the idea that there's a God of the gaps. Like we don't understand how some of these more complex forces in nature work, so we attribute it to a God. People used to think that exact same thing about thunder, lightning, and rain. They used to think it came from God directly, but now we have science to explain how that works. We don't need a God.
No, I understand science. I'm actually doing like a bachelor's degree in astrophysics right now.
Oh, that's good. So then you will start to learn about where where the earth and everything actually came from. It wasn't a god. It's not a god. Well, thanks for coming up. I appreciate you, but we are looking to talk to believers in the God of the Bible, so we could talk about how that God is evil. And I haven't gotten to pull out any of my little handy dandy scriptures yet today, and I kind of want to do that. So if you are a believer, and I know I've seen some believers sitting in my comments right now, instead of sitting in my comments, come on up here on TikTok. If you're over on the YouTube, YoGHZ2V, whatever your name is, yeah, come on over to TikTok. I am Crystaljae, and you guys, when you support the live, whether you send me a gift, whether you send me a tip on the links that I have, whether you go over to my throne and help with the crowdfunding for the computer or whatever you do, all that money is going to upgrade my computer system right now so that I can have a way for people from YouTube be able to join in on the conversation. Right now, my computer could not, it barely can handle Chrome running right now. So once we get it upgraded, I'll be able to offer a more cohesive way for YouTube to join in on the conversation. But I love you, YouTube, and I appreciate every single one of you for watching, whether you're on the Deconstruction Junction YouTube or mine. I really appreciate it.
Maybe you could play one of your little ditties. And by ditty, I mean song.
I can play a ditty. Does somebody have a request for a special ditty?
Will you play You Saw It?
I will play that.
Yay!
Men didn't have the nerve to name you, not with truth, not with blood on their hands. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that to you guys. They spoke around you, over you, safe behind their power and plans. They praised what you did for them. They trembled as you gave your name. They wouldn't dare think to name you. No, that would be my claim to fame. I didn't bow when you found me alone. No one else to hear what I'd say. You didn't offer a name for me to whisper, so I named you from my view of you that day. You didn't offer me a covenant, no altar, no future, no claim. What I had was a body for trading, and the courage to give you a name. The God who sees, nothing can hide from you. The God who sees nothing outside your view. You saw it, 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 you saw it. The story's been told for generations, passed along from voice to ear. I called you the God who sees, but it's not how it appears. Like a game of telephone, it traveled, every telling changed the view. Each preaching made it softer, each repeat a little more askew. You saw it, you saw it. Far from my home, isolated, afraid, a body alone in a borrowed land. You saw me doing what I had to do, trying to obey their every command. You saw the cruelty, saw it plain, saw it hand me over like a toy. You saw what was taken again and again. You saw my body and heart destroyed. I ran when escape came into view. Believe distance might set me free, but you found me there in the wilderness and sent me back to what you could see. I named you the God who sees. They heard it as something kind. They said you saw my heart, said it was part of your design. It was never meant to compliment. I named you the God who sees. It was always an indictment. You see it all and do nothing. You see the children, you see their pain, their hunger, their bruises, their abuse. You see the men who harm them while claiming they worship you. You see global wars, you see the suffering. You see it all from your throne and do nothing. You saw it, 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 you saw it. I didn't name you by accident. I didn't kneel, I didn't plead. I gave you a name that fit. I named you the God who sees. You saw it, 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 you are the God who sees. You saw it, you saw it, you saw it. Two things I want to address. That is from my album called Ex Parte. It is available everywhere you stream music. Stream it all the time, okay? Stream it whenever you can. I get a fraction of a penny every time you stream it. So anyway, it is everywhere you stream music. It is not me singing. I wrote the lyrics to everything on the album. It is, I use Suno to help with the music. I do all the composing. Okay. But the production, I don't do composing. I do production. Yeah, so I picked the style, the voice, the everything, and that is you saw it from my album Ex Parte. I'm working on my next album, and it is called Angry Atheist. And so we already have 2 songs for it, Cuntified and Block Me. I'm working on 2 other songs. One is called Angry Atheist, and the other one is a surprise for you that I'm hoping to finish up this weekend, because it is a companion piece to my anti-sermon for Monday, which is on Tamar. So, oh, James, am I hellbound? Come on up and talk to me. I don't know why you guys just shout things from the chat. Like, why don't you just come up and talk? If your God is so powerful and you have so much faith in your God and you feel his love and you feel the Holy Spirit like inside you, and then you should be like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to bring peace to the world by talking to this lady, because I'm going to turn this room into a bunch of Christians. They're going to feel God's love through me. They're going to see the Holy Spirit shining through me. But instead you just sit and chat and say hateful stuff. And we go, see, that's the reason I'm not a Christian right there. That guy right there. He's why I'm not a Christian. I don't know.
Yeah, they almost
That's the way I
seem
look at it.
excited to tell us that we're going to hell. Like, I was never
Yeah.
happy or self-satisfied that I thought anyone, even someone I didn't like, was going to hell. It's a very weird
No.
vibe.
I really felt that it is my job to even love them more, be more kind, be more gracious, so that they would know that, I believed they will know we are Christians by our love. I believed that.
Yep, me too.
I
would have been mortified. Like, I wasn't on TikTok when I deconverted, but when I first came on here and got into atheist spaces, I was like mortified. I was just sitting here like with my mouth open for so many lives, going, "What?"
Yeah. Hey, I also wanted to address something else. I saw somebody say you should interview board agnostic for Decon Q&A with Crystaljae. 2 things. 1, Thinker will be with me on Sunday. You guys, Thinker on Decon Q&A. You guys, Decon Q&A is for you to come up and ask your questions. And you watch, and then you guys sit and chat. Get some questions ready. Write them down now. So they're on, and even if you just want to come up and say, Thinker, I love you. You helped me. You are so smart. You're brilliant. You have taught me that's what you do too. You come up, you say hi, you thank them, you ask them questions. Don't be shy. Just come on up. But as far as board agnostic, I have invited them on the show. They were going to get back with me, I think, or something like that. And we just haven't, but they just weren't ready. Like, it was just not something they wanted to do right then. And I don't ever want to push somebody into trying to do that or whatever. So I love board. I love board very, very much. And I hope they do come on my show. Also, next week I have Venus. And so, I have Venus. Come see Venus. And if you don't know her, first of all, you're missing out on a gorgeous accent. Oh my God, I love her accent. But also, she's so fucking smart.
She's one of those people that I'm
Jared,
like, you can talk.
Jared, I requested up this morning because I was going to say something funny, but you didn't let me come up and say something funny. But I did have something fun. I don't remember what it was. I was gonna. It was something that they were saying, and I had. Oh! The guy was talking about. There was footprints of Jesus that they found, and Jared was like, "I don't even know what you're fucking talking about." And I was gonna go up and tell him, Jared, don't you know that there was only one set of footprints in the sand because Jesus was carrying you? Don't you know about those footprints? There's like posters of those footprints, dude. I know he doesn't like it when there's smarter people than him on the panel. That's for sure, Nick. Like he just can't. Also funnier. He does. He doesn't want that very much either. Yes, I love Venus. She is our favorite Aussie. Daniel, I love you too. I'm just picking her because she's a woman, and I always support women over men. Yeah. So here's what I got going on. So tonight, Deconstruction Junction single mingle thing. Okay, show up. Just come over there and hang out with us, okay? Well, if we don't end up doing the single mingler thing, we'll still have fun. We'll do something. We'll have fun, okay? Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thinker, right here for Decon Q&A with Crystaljae. Monday is my next anti-sermon that I'll be doing live, and I hopefully will have a new song for you to match that because I've already finished you guys, tomorrow is amazing. You can't find my music on Spotify. It's under Crystaljae, Jae, and that's the music artist. And the album is called Ex Parte, Parte. Somebody send Pokey my link so that they can find me over there. Also, every Wednesday, you get a new episode of the podcast Anti-Sermons. And I think I started it already. I have a new channel in my Discord just for all of you because I love you so much. Let me see. Let me make sure I did it because sometimes I plan on doing it and then I don't. My ADHD brain goes, oh, you wanted to do this, but you didn't. Oh, I didn't do it yet. If you're going to be a part of the Twilight sleepover, go into my Discord and vote on the poll. But I am going to make a new channel over there called Ask Your Auntie. And you guys can ask me anything you want. You can ask me your Bible questions. You can ask me how I would handle a certain situation. You can ask me whatever, like advice or questions you want. And I will be your auntie. I will be your surrogate auntie for the day and answer your questions.
Yeah. I'm sad I'm not going to be here for when Thinker's here. I've got plans on Sunday.
Oh, well, you can replay it. It'll be on my YouTube, so you can replay it.
At least we got that. Also, I've been. Hopefully, you'll get some good nickels and dimes out of it. Funny confession, I've been listening to You Saw It every day for like the past couple days, and I've been listening to it on repeat. And at some point, I'm gonna have every lyric memorized and probably release some sort of sickening video.
Oh, I would love that so much. Okay, so I'll write the song. Oh, bye, Lathe. I'll write a song, and then, like, a lot of times it'll become my new favorite, stem or whatever. Like, I will just play it over and over again, even though I wrote it. One time, my husband even said, "How many times are you going to listen to your own music?" And I thought, would you ask Elvis Presley that? No, you would not. If he wrote a song, you would let him listen to. What are you talking about? Why can't I listen to my own music? But then, when I wrote You Saw It. When I wrote You Saw It, it immediately became like my favorite song that I had written. And I had to play it over and over and over again. And I don't know, I kind of thought that I do like Block Me and I do like Countified, but they don't have the same emotional value that I get from You Saw It. And so I still go to it. I still keep playing it.
Yeah, I very much feel that way. Like I love Countified and You Saw It for very different reasons. Like they're empowering
Yeah.
in totally different ways.
Absolutely. Hey, can you do another quick commercial for me? I'll be right back.
Sure, I can do a commercial. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you realize this, but Crystal, she has a greater gift goal of eventually being able to afford a laptop to give you guys better access on YouTube. Perhaps even one day a YouTube call-in where people can call in from YouTube. That's a possibility with better technology. But you know, the quality of her streaming on TikTok, YouTube, Grinder, Scruff, or whatever platforms else she wants to stream on, uh, are a possibility if you guys want to support her. Also, we are still in desperate need of getting Crystal a bookmark. Um, ADHD is really, it's tough. I don't have it myself, but I hear it's tough from everybody who has it. And you know, she just needs assistance in being able to get that bookmark. So if you guys would contribute, send some nickels and dimes her way, or even listen to her music on Spotify, that would all be helpful. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Also, you guys, I do have a new way for people to support this show, and that's my throne. And it lets you do everything from buy me a cup of coffee to, I don't know, send me a brand new coffee maker. I don't know, whatever you freaking want to do. But anyway, you'll see if you check out the links in my bio. It's actually just a way for creators to have every way to gift or give or whatever, like in one cohesive place, and also not have to give your address out. Does that make sense? Like, not for people to not be able to see my address anymore. Hey, Skeptic, good to see you. Welcome in. Redheaded Mezzo, I saw you slide by. Welcome in, everybody. I'm going to be live for just about an hour more. Today's topic, God is evil. We've had a couple of conversations, but if you're a believer and you want to come up and talk about it, the guest box is open. The guest box is open. We got a few people thinking of going to the meetup in Southern California that we're having in Temecula in April. On April 18th, we're going to meet in Old Town Temecula. I picked out this really cool brewery. I liked it because it was called like Stone Church Brewery, and I thought it would be funny for us to all go to a brewery called Church as a bunch of heathens. Anyway, their location in Temecula is no longer open, so I picked a different place for us to go. So if you want to be a part of that information is also in my Discord, and you're just going to go to the channel that's called April Cal Meetup, and that's where we're going to keep information on that. I'd love to meet some of you and see some of you there. So yeah, come join us and meet some of the people in the community. And then we're going to do the Twilight sleepover too. So if you want to watch Twilight with me and hate watch it, that's happening over there too. All right.
Yo, what up?
Nectario, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
24. Can I ask you a question
All
about
right. And you're a believer?
what?
Are you a believer of the God of the Bible?
I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what makes you make the claim or of something being evil? Where do you get that from? What's your basis?
Morality is subjective.
Okay, if morality is subjective,
morning.
how's that not contradictory to making an assertion? If it's subjective, you can never make a concrete knowledge claim. You can't make something that's concrete if it's all subjective.
Oh my God, I'm so bored with this topic today. I'm so bored with men who fucking just like say exactly what I say back to me. I'm just so bored with it. So I can make that claim because it's subjective.
Do you know what subjective means? Means it's subject to change, right?
Yes.
So that means from today.
That's not what excuse me. You asked me and I said no.
You said no? So it's not subject to change?
Yeah, I said
what does
no,
subjective
that's not
means?
what it means. That's not what subjective means. It means
What does subjective means?
I'm trying to answer you. Objective is mind independent. Subjective means it comes from a mind.
Okay, wait. Are minds objective?
No.
Okay,
What
so
are
for
you
example,
talking about? I
I'm
just said
giving an
it's
example.
mind independent. If it's mind independent, it's objective.
Okay,
If it comes
so
from any mind, anywhere, in any galaxy, in any realm, in any time, from
okay,
any being,
I got
including
it.
a
I
God,
got it.
it is no longer objective. It's
Yeah, I
subjective.
understand. So, is everyone's mind the same?
You guys, I can't have these conversations. No, they're subjective.
Okay, so if everyone's mind is subjective, meaning not everyone has the same opinions, and every adult
Right.
disagrees on many opinions, right? Whether it be in their life experiences or whatever, because everyone's life experience is subjective. That alone refutes you. If everyone has different life experience, that alone
Can you
refutes you.
prove to me that objective morality exists? Can you prove to me it actually exists and we
Yes,
use
tag.
it in our world
Yes,
today?
tag. Do you know tag?
No. Did he just say the tag argument was going to prove that objective morality is real? That
Yeah.
is so hilarious. That's not
Can you
what it's
refute
gonna
tag?
do.
Can you refute it?
So
Everybody can. Oh my God.
Everybody can. So why
Do you
haven't
know
they?
that is the dumbest
So why
argument?
haven't they?
They have over and over
So why
again.
haven't they? You said
They
everybody
have.
can, so why haven't they?
They
Give me-
have over and
Yeah.
over again.
Okay, then give me your thesis for the refutation. Just give me a quick refutation of tag then.
So
If you think it's
Nectario,
been refuted before.
quick question.
Exactly, can't respond.
The background.
Nectario, somebody's talking, idiot. Do
No,
you hear
you don't want to
Nicholas
answer the
talking?
question because you know it's hard.
Nectario, do you hear Nicholas talking?
Yeah, I hear the yap.
Don't unmute. Don't unmute. Don't unmute. Nicholas, go ahead.
So Nectario, the background said God is evil. Now, when we're talking about this God, that means we have to go to the text, not some tag argument that's been refuted a billion times.
That's not how it works.
I mean, that is how the conversation works here. So would you like to go to the
there's
text?
worldviews. You can't just
So
you can't
cool.
just take the standard of a worldview and apply it to a different worldview.
Cool. So shall we
I don't
look
think you
at the
understand how
text
debating
then?
works. I'm not going to grant you anything.
I'm
You're not going
grant
to
you
talk
anything.
over people either. Listen to me. You're not going to do that. We have people using closed
No, it's a
captioning for
debate.
the hearing impaired. Okay, you're not going to do it.
No.
If you can't handle yourself, okay? If you can't be a grown-ass adult, don't come up on these lives, okay? There are people who use closed captioning for the hearing impaired. They cannot get a clear closed caption when people are talking over each other.
Have you noticed how Philbros are scared of their own scripture? They're terrified of it.
Yes, that's why they don't do it.
Maybe they're not, I don't know, actually Christian, and the text burns them when they have to read it, like little demons.
I saw his bio. He had the EO Christian symbol in it. They don't act, the issue with a lot of these Philbros, especially if they're EO, is they will always appeal to two different fallacies: an appeal to authority fallacy and an appeal to ancient fallacies. They're going to go back to what these old unalived guys from 1,000+ years ago are going to say about the scripture, and they're not going to do any critical thought about it whatsoever. And then when we bring up that what these people say conflicts with the scripture, with their philosophical framework that relies on precepts and doesn't have any foundational basis, they're going to crash out like how he did. They're just going to try and steamroll, interrupt, and be nasty.
There's somebody in chat. Salt and Light, why don't you come up?
Chaos, remember when I ran that topic? And then pretty much every Christian I had up on stage was running from scripture. We're not afraid of it. Me brings up scripture, zeroes in on Jesus. It's like, what? I told you.
They didn't read their own book. They have a build a God.
what? Do you think it's just simply like dopamine and adrenaline that Phil Bros get from joining a live, saying really stupid shit, trying to get everybody angry, and then running off to the next live to do it again? Is in reality, do you think it's just like dopamine and adrenaline?
I do. I think it's Dunning-Kruger
I'm
effect.
anti-anarchy, you guys. Wait, if
I
you
love that.
can you screenshot that and send it to me? I have got to see that. That is awesome. Anti-anarchy. Oh my God. That is amazing. Tag fails because it assumes without proving that logic, morality, and knowledge require a divine matter. That is just a presuppositional argument, and it fails.
Alrighty, everyone, you know the game. Well, Crystal's way. Let's get to double tapping that screen, sharing it out to 5 friends or more, or into your discords. If you have no friends or no discords, hit that copy link button at least 5 times, as it does help boost the algorithm. Don't forget to hit that nifty repost button as you're watching. It's going to show up on your friends' FYPs and hopefully bring more people. Host does have some gift goals, so if you got some spare coin, throw them to your Witcher, as well as check out all the links within their bio. Brand new album just dropped, Ex Parte, so be sure you're streaming that on, well, everywhere you can find it, and help boost those views and listens. And as always, just double tap and share out, and that's the best way to support the host.
I was muted. I got a phone call, but it was just Doug. So I told him, like, I'm live. So I'm like, is this an emergency? But he just wanted to bullshit during his lunch. So he has to just wait.
Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. I'm just
Salt and Light, I've invited you up if you want to come up and have the conversation. I'd love to talk to you more about it. I'm going to head over to the YouTubes real quick on my iPad and see what they're talking about. What are you guys saying? I'm sure you do the same charities that you donate $2 to. Let's see. Oh, I'm a Karen. You guys. That when they don't have anything, when they're like, oh, look at her, she's just smiling, she's having a good time, she's talking, I'll call her Karen. That'll get her. Okay. So it says, his name is Crazy Fox Lover. These are the type of people who are Karens, by the way. They complain about the Bible like babies, but won't participate in charities involving children. Hey, guess what? I sit on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization. So I guess you're just fucking wrong, huh? I guess you're just fucking wrong there, Crazy Fox Lover. Do you sit on the board of directors for a nonprofit organization? Did you raise thousands of dollars last year for people in your community? Because I did.
And the Buddhists do all kinds of stuff for charity. We have a huge charity network. We're very involved in our communities.
We do. Don't donate money, don't work with children. What? Dude. Oh, really? The statistics are climbing. Well, here's the statistics that you don't like to take into consideration. Most of the money that Christians donate actually goes into their churches and are funneled into very wealthy people. So when they donate to charity, they just donate to wealth. It doesn't actually help anybody in their community. It just helps the ultra rich get ultra richer. So we can talk about that. Would you like to talk about that and how you guys don't actually give to children? Or can we talk about the Catholic Church and how they were sued due to them moving around P3DOs within the church to other dioceses, and instead of reporting them, these people were allowed to perpetrate again. When they were sued and won the case for millions and millions of dollars, They took money out of a charity that they had for feeding hungry children and used it to pay their lawsuit while they still have other money, oodles of other money throughout the organization. Should we talk about that? I don't think you really want to go one for one with me on how people fuck people over in charity when it comes to the Christian religion, okay?
Oop.
Thank you, Chaos. You know what? People in the community saved me last year too. So I really appreciate our community. I had unexpected medical bills at the beginning of the year after Trump had defunded my daughter's schooling. And so it hit us kind of hard, and people came together, helped me. Then on New Year's, I jumped in the pool on a rainy night to save my dog's life, and it destroyed my phone. And a couple people in the community sent me a new phone. So people have really helped me too. And so that's one reason why I love our community, and I will continue to do anything I can to help people in this community. The decon community helps save your dog. That's amazing, Tahir. Thank you. Thank you. Look at all these people going like, hey, they helped me. They helped me. They helped me. These are real people, Crazy Fox Lover, not fake statistics, okay? That you pull out of your butt. He said no community is safe, and we all know that. That is ridiculous, sir. Do you know that that there is actually a study done on pollesters who are in jail, and those pollesters say that one of the reasons is something like 83% or higher, I cannot remember. They claim to be Christians and use churches because they know you will forgive them and they will be allowed to continue to do their heinous behavior. That's why they choose you, because they know you're going to do it. They know you're going to forgive them. You're not going to give a shit about the children or the women that they harm, and you're going to let them do it again. And you do all the time. I could pull up case after case after case where your little Christian judges let men off with a slap on their hand after they've harmed. We're watching it happen in live right now. It is not atheists and people in the secular side of society who wants to protect the people in the EP files, sir. It is you Christians, you believers, who are protecting them. You believers are allowing that man to stay in office after he was found 38,000 times in the files. So don't tell me you love children. You don't give a fuck about children.
I don't mean to plug myself shamelessly here, but if you guys haven't checked out my latest post, you should, because I actually called out this very thing. I said, why is it that the people who are yelling, Hail Satan, are the ones who are fighting to protect the kids, but the ones who say praise Jesus are doing the harm to them? And then I reminded people that the Ha Satan in the Bible was the one who was testing people to see if they were worthy, and that Christians failed. So if you guys haven't seen my latest post, go check it out.
Definitely check and make sure you're following everybody who ever comes up on my show. I don't know who's gonna drop by because I have a lot of friends in this community. So like we had Mezzo drop by this week, and then we had Mac Lester and Tommy, and we've had Robin and Shadow, and Tahir has come. I don't even remember everybody who came by this week. So you never know who's gonna show up and come in and say hello. Yeah, so you guys should be following me. I don't know why you're not, but I know you're not because I don't have 10,000 followers yet. I'm just saying. And over on the YouTubes, I am Crystaljae. See how it's spelled? Go follow me over there too, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers and get all my watch hours in so I can finally get monetized and be a big girl. So did he get mad and leave? Or did you guys have to mute Crazy Fox Lover? Because he sure showed up after I went off on that. I guess he can't sit there and claim that we don't do anything to help society anymore, and he didn't like that.
Yo, Nick, how you doing?
Hi, Nick. Sorry, I was cleaning the floor. Did somebody say my name?
Yeah, I'm saying hello real quick.
Oh, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. How is all today?
No, I'm good. Yeah, it was. I kind of was bringing it up yesterday a little bit. I'm like, when SNAP benefits were cut in November, that did not stop any mega churches from getting $40,000 wire harnesses for flying elves. Like they have their church services and their concerts on lockdown. We can't stop those. We can't cut any funding for those mega churches for the Christmas concerts, right? What I'm not hearing from any pastors or priests or any like church leaders, I'm not hearing any statements about the files. Remaining silent is making a choice. It would be so easy for any megachurch pastor to step forward and be like, we do not condone what is going on with this. But why are we not hearing that? I am curious about that.
I don't know, but I have to say something real quick. Hey, Rachel over on the YouTubes, thank you for the $5. By the way, when you're on Deconstruction Junction, just so you guys know, since we're talking about community and everything, right? When you're on the Deconstruction Junction YouTube and you're watching any other creators and you send in a little gift like that, all that money goes to help people in the community. That doesn't go into anybody's pocket. It does sometimes have to pay for some things that we need for administration over on the Deconstruction Junction Discord or YouTube channels, like if we pay for Nitro or whatever, so that you guys have a better experience. But otherwise, it just goes to the community. Benny donates it to the DZ Foundation, and the DZ Foundation is Justin's nonprofit organization where we help people in the community who need help with therapy, grocery. We haven't done a big fundraiser yet, so we're just started. We did our first program this year during the holidays, and we were able to provide gift cards for people during November, December, and January. It was supposed to only be for November and December, but we had so many donations that we were able to do an extra month. And we had people who gave gifts during our Gift of Joy program to kids in need. So we had really good success. So any of the money that you do over there, Rachel, that goes towards people in the community. And we appreciate it.
You know what I absolutely love, Crystal, is these Christians who are like, I'm at work, so I can't come up. But somehow while they're at work, they can sit there and type and type and type and type. Like, have you ever thought that's like really weird?
Yeah, it is.
It's even they can steal time. They can pretend to look busy and steal time from their employer that way.
Yeah, I mean, I make a. Oh no, how does it go? My boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I TikTok on company time. That's how it goes, right?
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. You guys, I think I have most of the videos in now, so I'll be able to start editing. I'm waiting for some of the girls from Girls Gone Godless to send me a couple of clips still, and then I'll be able to put together the music video for Cuntified. I am going to make it a sound on TikTok when I do that, and I would really appreciate it if any of you have friends that are drag queens, that you share it with them, because so many people tell me that drag queens will like this song, and I'd love for them to have this song, use this song, play this song, go club with this song. I mean, it's such a great song. So here it is. Here's Cuntified.
Hey ladies, what's on the menu tonight? I want to dismantle the patriarchy, and I'm feeling cuntified. Line up the shots, spark up a blunt. Every lady here is serving cunt, not an ounce of straight. We're serving cunt. It's the damn dress code. We're serving cunt. It's our manifesto. We're serving cunt. Boom being cuntified. Men on pause while we take the mic. We're serving cunt. It's the damn dress code. We're serving cunt. It's our manifesto. We're serving cunt. Boom being cuntified. Men on pause while we take the mic. Confidence high, no safety net. You look confused, you won't forget. We won't tolerate your disrespect. You're about to concede, lil man, bet. You talk loud, but you saying less. We speak once with confidence. Now step aside and let a cunt speak. Your contractors know you reached your peak. I still warm, we ain't done yet. Let the silence sit, yeah, you felt that hit. This ain't rage, this ain't regret. This is contemplation at its best. We serving cunt. It's the damn dress code. Serving cunt. It's our manifesto. Serving cunt. Holding cuntified. Men on pause while we take the mic. Serving cunt. It's the damn dress code. Serving cunt. It's our manifesto. Serving cunt. Holding cuntified. Men on pause while we take the mic. We serving cunt. We serving cunt. We serving cunt. All the laughing boys say we serving cunt. We serving cunt. We serving cunt. Blah, blah,
We don't need to listen to that one right now. That is cuntified. You guys, we've got one Christian in chat. They woke him up. I'm telling you, I feel like that it's been like, I felt bad the other day because I could barely get somebody up here to talk to me, right? And then I watched everybody else that day. And when I see people like Joel begging for somebody to come talk to him, I'm like, okay, it's not just me. Everybody's having issues with this. But some days it's just like that. You know what I mean?
I really, really love how Salt and Light says genocide isn't funny, yet, turns a blind eye to actual history and the push of Christianity on nations throughout the world, and even what it's doing to people now over here in the West. I love how they want to claim the victim card so bad when they mass G-sided more of the world than there could ever be Christians. Like, it's just, it's wild to me that they want to play that victim card so hard.
No, it's crazy.
I don't know why. But it makes me a lot more sicker to hear and see women promoting this stuff than it does the men.
Oh, absolutely. It's horrible. I don't understand any marginalized person who wants to apologize for how this God who's supposed to be all loving and created all of us is clearly, he clearly has a hierarchy, clearly is supremacy, and they will sit there and defend him with their dying breath.
Literally, like I had mentioned to her, because she said, we would defend the evil people who are being slaughtered by God in the Bible. And I said, well, prove to me that infants and children are evil. And she shoots back with, we can't go by proof. Pardon me? What? So you don't want to hear about how your God consistently G-sided infants and children? Okay.
I literally heard somebody say, well, that's the problem. You're trying to use logic.
No, not logic.
Yes, honey. We use logic. Yes, we do.
Not common
sense. Logic. Yes, I do. I use logic. How about you? What? It's just crazy to me the things they say. I'm like, okay, yep, I do. Count me guilty. Oops, sorry. I left my sound on the iPad. My video audio is choppy again.
I was just going to say, I agree with what Nick was saying, though, because... sorry.
Hang on one second. I'll let you talk just 1 second. Resist stop over on YouTube. I closed everything out, restarted my computer, and for some reason, the sound got worse. I'm going to have my husband check some things when he gets home, make sure that I have the Ethernet cable connected tight enough or whatever and stuff. But what I'll do is try to do like clear my cache and stuff today, and maybe I just need to do that more regularly over on the YouTube. Here comes Katie. I'm sorry, Robin. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
So what I was saying was, they don't actually care about proof. They don't care about facts. They don't care about logic because their belief system is oriented around feelings. And you will see it in real time when facts are not in alignment with their feelings. They will choose to believe their feelings over facts, despite it even being counterintuitive or harmful to them. Way back when this cult was first beginning, they intentionally sought out uneducated people. They did not want intellectuals in their cult because those intellectuals would have dismantled it. They would have been able to pick it apart. They intentionally went after the uneducated. And there are scriptures to substantiate this, where the original cultists that were looking to convert people looked for uneducated people to prey upon. And that's for a good reason. It's because in this cult, they tell people do not seek out higher education, don't go to college. They discourage that because they know the more you educate yourself, the more you're not going to believe it.
Yep. Hey, Katie, how are you today?
Good. I just have a few minutes. I'm on sort of a little bit of a break from class. And I saw like a lot of my favorite people, like Nick's here, Shadow's here, you're here. I wanted to just say hi real quick.
Oh, it's good to see
Agree
you.
that God is
I
evil.
hope you're having a good day.
Oh yeah. I love school weekend.
Hey, Christina. Good to see you.
I'm being summoned, and it actually sounds serious, so I gotta drop. Katie, love seeing your face always.
Where are you
Shadow,
going?
Robin,
I want to know
Crystal.
where you're going.
So do
Who's
I. I
live?
just got asked to go talk with some people, and usually that's not a good thing. So
Okay, you gotta tell me about it later.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh
I
my
need to
God,
know.
what happened this time?
All right, I love you, Nick. Have a good day. You guys, we are at almost 55,000 likes. Thank you for all the likes, 102 shares, all the gifts, and all the support and conversation today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be live for about 20 more minutes. If you are a believer of the God of the Bible and you want to come up and talk, the guest box is open. Or you could be like Salt and Light and hang out in the chat and just argue with everybody in chat. And you could do that too. And thank you for everybody over on YouTube. I'm sorry my sound is shitty again. I really tried to fix it today because usually what it is, and if you use OBS, just for any of you who might use it, every now and then, if you're capturing your browser window and that's how you're streaming to YouTube, which is what I do, then you have to clear your cache and stuff because for some reason it fucks with your video quality and your sound after a while. Yeah, I agree,
So Salt and
Resist.
Light,
I agree.
I was gonna
Go
tell
ahead,
Salt and
Robin.
Light in the comments. Actually, you can ask rabbis, historians, any scholar in their field. They will tell you that Molech was not actually a deity worshipped in the Levant. It was a practice. It was the practice of child sacrifice, and it was the Israelites that did it. It was the peoples from the Levant that were practicing child sacrifice. So, I encourage you to read your text because it explicitly says that it were peoples living in the Levant that were doing that practice, including the Israelites.
Yeah, and Paul, about however you want to say his name, wasn't a bad deity as deities go, right? He brought rain like to the Canaanites. So just because you want to say they're bad.
Well, Baal, like a lot of these ancient deities, was a fallible deity. Baal wasn't there was no omni properties given to Baal, like with the modern monotheistic conventions of these omni triune properties given to a deity. Baal was a warrior storm god, no different than Yahweh. Baal and Yahweh would eventually become assimilated into one deity.
Right?
So there is a lot written about this too. Salt and Light, if you want to learn more about it instead of spewing misinformation, there is Moloch, a god of human sacrifice in the Old Testament, which defends the view that Moloch was a deity, but engages extensively with the sacrifice type theory and the Punic parallels. But there are other ones. There's archaeologists such as Lawrence E. Stager and Samuel R. Wolfe that argue that the opposite. There's so much information about this, but the archaeology shows us that there were urns to Yahweh. There are no urns to Moloch. It was because Moloch was a type of sacrifice, not a deity. Hey, Christina.
Hi. I don't know if I requested or if I don't know how I ended up on here, but
It said you did, but you don't have to stay. But you're welcome to stay.
that's okay. I actually have a question because today we are recording, but we don't have a guest, and we were just gonna do some like silly Bible stories or whatever, mostly around women, which you're a expert of. So I didn't know if there were any specific ones we should touch on that you can think of.
Oh wow! Let me look in my let me look in my little bag of tricks here. I'm gonna look in my documents and see if any of them. Well, I mean, there's just like little pieces of information I can tell you. Like, first of all, I keep learning things like that I didn't know, obviously, as I am doing these sermons, right, on all these women. And so there's things that I learned, like that I didn't know Rachel meant lamb. Like, I didn't know that.
Oh.
And when you realize that, like, these women are actually always like some kind of body or incubator to to perpetuate this fucking stupid line.
Right.
She's really the sacrificial lamb, not Jesus. That's just my opinion. So I'm just saying.
That's interesting. Okay.
Okay, like that's just who I think she is. Okay.
Yeah.
Hagar is the only the only person ever in the Bible to name God. Hagar names God. Every other place, God gives his name. They don't name him. So that's really interesting,
Right. Because I'm sure we'll touch on Eve, and I actually want to talk about Lilith because I know that she's not technically she's not technically in the Bible, right?
No, she might be in extra like apocryphal works. Hang on, let me see.
She's in the Talmud.
Is Lilith ever mentioned in any translation of the Bible? And if not, is she mentioned in any extra biblical ancient texts?
Because it's always so weird to me that it was like she was like too, because you know me, I know nothing. So what I've learned or what I've gathered is that she was too like progressive. She was too much of a feminist, and they were like, nope, you got to get out of here. We're going to make somebody else up more submissive.
In the book of Isaiah, let's turn, shall we, to Isaiah 34. I love learning new things. It's like my favorite thing to do. Okay, in chapter 34, we're going to go to verse 14. Wildcats shall meet with hyena. I'm in the right book, right? Wild cats shall meet with hyenas, goat demons shall call to each other. There too Lilith shall repose.
Oh.
She is in there. Huh.
Interesting.
So, and that's in the New Revised Edition. Sometimes translated Lilith, Lilit. Sometimes translated Lilith. It appears in a prophetic oracle describing a desolate wasteland filled with wild and eerie creatures. That's it. No Eden story or anything. Is Lilith in ancient Near Eastern texts? Yes, but differently. In Mesopotamian texts, Sumerian and Akkadian, there are beings called Lilu and Lilitu, which are Lilu is male spirits and Lilitu is female spirits, and Ardat Lily. These were wind or night spirits, sometimes associated with illness, sexual danger, child morality. There are no Adam's wives. They are demon-like spirits. When does Lilith becomes Adam's first wife? Much later, in medieval Jewish text called Alphabet of Ben Sira. It's 8th to 10th century CE. The text tells the story that Lilith was created from the same earth as Adam. She refused to be submissive. She left Eden. She became a demon. The story is not biblical. It's medieval folklore.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, I gotta go back to class. Love you. Mwah.
Bye, Katie. Thanks for coming up.
Bye.
Huh.
Now, I did just do an interesting... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's funny that, like, what they consider, like, myths and folklore and then what they consider, like, making laws around. Like,
yeah.
It's all fucking myths and folklore. But
now, I will tell you that there are women that I feel are, hey, Evil 666, hey, Dark Knight, welcome in. There is Asherah, right? She appears in the Old Testament as a goddess or a sacred object of she's in the first book of Kings 15:13, the second book of Kings 23:6, the book of Judges 3:7, usually translated as Asherah or Asherah pole. The Ugaritic text from the 14th through the 13th century BCE. She's the consort of the high god El, okay, and a mother goddess associated with fertility and the sea. Very established Canaanite deity. Now, here's the controversial part. Archaeological inscriptions from Kuntalit Ajrud and Kerbet El Quam contain phrases like Yahweh and his Asherah. This has led many scholars to argue that early Israelites may have worshipped Yahweh alongside his consort figure identified as Asherah. So they were a king and queen. Now, I tend to believe that that's probably true, and I'm going to tell you why. If we turn to Jeremiah 44, and this is one of my favorite chapters, and every woman needs to know that this chapter exists in their Bible, and then they need to shove it down a man's throat every chance they get, okay?
Wait, Jeremiah what?
44. I got to find it because I'm really bad at finding my books. Jeremiah 44 is page 911 if you have my Bible. Or not Jeremiah 44, but okay. In Jeremiah 44, starting in verse 15. Yes.
Okay.
Then all the men who were aware that their wives had been making offerings to other gods, and all the women who stood by a great assembly, all the people who lived in Pathros in the land of Egypt, answered Jeremiah, "As for the word that you have spoken to us in the name of the Lord, we are not going to listen to you. Instead, we will do everything that we have vowed, making offerings to the Queen of Heaven." That is believed to be Asherah by many people. "And pour out libations to her, just as we and our ancestors, our kings and our officials used to do in the towns of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. We used to have plenty of food and prospered and saw no misfortune. But from the time we stopped making offerings to the Queen of Heaven and pouring out libations to her, we have lacked everything and have perished by the sword and by famine." And the women said, "Indeed, we will go on making offerings to the Queen of Heaven and pouring out libations to her. Do you think that we made cakes for her, marked with her image, and poured out libations to her without our husbands being involved?" So they were fine.
Of course, because women always give you what you need.
Exactly. Exactly. We're fucking gonna make sure you're hungry. I'm gonna get you something to eat. You need a little something to drink, sweetie. I got you. But these men are gonna go, I don't know. What are we gonna do? Let's eat this bird poop and call it manna.
What's in it for me? That's what it is.
Yeah, true. True.
Oh dear.
So yeah, Asher is a good one.
Okay.
I like her. That's a good one. I just did. Now this is an obscure one, but I'm just gonna tell you. I think they're badasses. They're found in Genesis 36:39. Okay, their names are Mehetabel, Matred, and Mezahab. Okay, and these three women to me are very significant because they come at the time where Jacob and Esau have just buried their father Isaac, and they have just reunited for the first time after Jacob stole everything from Esau. Okay, and now they are closing out the genealogy of Esau because from this moment on, they're going to make that entire tribe of people be the enemy of Israel. So even though just a minute ago they're hugging, it looks like reconciliation, life is great, they end up saying here is like the genealogy of Esau, and then from that moment on we're going to go to Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and we're going to do that musical. But when they end the genealogy of the Edomites, the enemy of the people, they close it out with those three women's names. When they don't even name their own women who were the mothers of all of civilization that were on Noah's Ark. They don't name them, but they name the three women on the Edomites side, and they're royal women, and their names mean Mehetabel means God does good. Matred's name means like driven, like that kind of driven that you have when you're ambitious, right? Mm-hmm. And then Mezahab's name means waters of gold. So these women are like blessed, ambitious, and rich.
Huh.
Now, later, rabbis would say, well, they named him that because that is what that king was going for. They're showing how that king, like he didn't have his priorities straight. He was going after, worldly things and blah, blah, blah. He should have been seeking for Yahweh or whatever. But I don't buy that because these women weren't named once they met the king. They were named that. That was their God-given name when they were born, right? So I don't believe that. I think these women were three very powerful women, so powerful that not only did the Edomites remember them, but the Israelite scribes remembered them too.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah. I'll look that up. I have like an hour
Christina
to do.
Carroll!
Aw. Christina. The other, or the better Christina, the godless.
No, what? No, you guys are both amazing. I love it. You guys are both amazing.
I never
well,
see
you guys,
her anymore.
I know. I miss her get ready with me videos and stuff, but you know what? You have to take care of yourself. So I hope you're doing like amazing things. I hope you're like pursuing your music and acting and shit like that, Christina, because you're so fucking talented.
Amen.
She did these podcasts for a while. I don't know if any of you guys heard them, but like she was taking these women's voices and then like she was like acting them out like what they're like. So she did this one. I know I always bring it up because I love it so much, Christina, of Bathsheba. And I think it's called Christina Carroll, I'll Take It From Here or something. That's the podcast, I believe. And the Bathsheba one, like I literally could, like I was totally tearing up. She really, you felt like you were right there. Like she's amazing.
Yeah, when she was on the show, I told her that I would read the whole Bible, or I would listen to the whole Bible if she read it to me, because she was reading, she was telling us a story, I think about Job, And I was so enthralled, and I was like, I think this is the only way I'd be able to get through the book is if Christina Carroll reads it to me. So I think that
for sure.
you need to do that. So, all right, I'm going to go down, but
I would
thank
too.
you for the
All right,
ideas.
well, I'm going to be ending the live anyway. So listen, you guys, who is live? Who can we go rate? Is Trust But Verify live? He's often live when I'm live or right around the same time. So I don't know who's live today, though. Go find somebody. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That was so cool. Go and rate somebody and tell them Crystal loves them. Okay. I will see you guys tonight in the Deconstruction Junction.
Boy, Lana, I'm gonna do her now. His favorite undress, watching again. Lana! Are we ready for Lana? We should probably try and pick a song from this album. What song do you guys want me to play from in here? Oh, what pressing? Two LP as well. Just black. Oh, why does that always happen? That's the pressing. Alright, are we ready for Lana? Say yes in the chat. Spam yes. My chat's tiny, so it takes a second for it to come through. Wait. Everyone's saying no to the box set. Yes? Okay. Oh my god, holy yes. Alright, I'm starting now. Get in there, guys. Get your Lana. Ooh. Let the light in. The song is on this album, guys. Bid it up, get in there. Bid on it, sit on it. Hi, Oscar. It's so good, guys. Bid it up. Oh my gosh. That went for so cheap. What a steal. Where's the clapping? Yay! Yay! Oh, that's Christy. She's having her surgery Wednesday. Not me. But yes, I wish her luck too. I'll tell her you said that. Let me take a picture. Whoa, my phone's being weird. Why is my camera not working? Ooh. Alright, do you guys know this boy be in my DM say I'm pretty? This boy be in my DM say I'm pretty. Oh wait, this is a remix. This is Tank and the Bongos right here. This is her speaking in the background. The best new artist Grammy nominee. Tank and the Bongos. Red Balloon. Pretty.